you're in the right place. Online, on the web, and on air. All over the world.
Talk Radio.
You hear us, we hear you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Seem to have 9 viewers at the moment. Greenlee's in, and Cheeky, whoever Cheeky is. Hello, Cheeky. So, we're here on the KTPF Community Talk Show once again this happy Wednesday evening, aren't we, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to think about that.
You had to think about that one. And we've got with us again our very own resident medium, Mr. Neil Munnerley.
Yep.
Hi, guys.
Ah, he speaks.
Yeah. And Simply Joe's just popped in as well.
Yes, evening peeps, she said. There's not many in the chat room at the moment. As I say, we've got 9 listeners. Well, listeners, viewers. I see Neil is dressed down this week after suit last week.
Dressed down Wednesday tonight.
Dressed down Wednesday. Yeah, but last week you had a suit on.
He was suited and booted last week.
Definitely. So
straight from work.
Yes, he was. So, but we've got a bit of a happy night tonight, hopefully. Our guest this evening, 8:30, will be none other than Todd Bates, an old friend of ours from way back when. So that should be fun, shouldn't it, Steve?
Yeah.
You've got some questions for him?
I've got to, but he kind of got rid of one already, didn't he?
No, you can still ask him because he did have an answer for
We
it.
spoke to him last week.
Last night, you mean?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah. So, but there's not many in the chat room. So, who's Cheeky, by the way? He says greetings all. So, are you a new person or are you
just a new name?
A new name, yeah. You could have changed your name for all we know. So, if you are listening, welcome to the show. And Alex, a friend of Todd's. Oh, right. Well, welcome to the show. And so he'll be on later on this evening. So, but as I say, we've got Todd coming on at 8:30, and we've got yourselves in the chat room. Neil, we're going to be talking to you later. What are we going to be talking about later on, Neil?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Are we having a free forum
Shall we
again?
have an open forum?
Again?
Oh,
have you run out of things to say?
I never run out of things to say. I can talk the legs off a donkey, mate.
Good, because that's what we need.
As long as it's paranormal.
As long as it's paranormal, not about crocodiles.
As long as it's clean.
Yes.
No in the gutter.
Well, Greenlee's decided tonight it's got to be the Guatemalan tree frog.
Oh, right, okay. The Guatemalan tree frog.
Yeah, the Guatemalan tree frog. So, JW's just joined us.
JW?
Yeah, John.
Him too.
Oh. Ghost Rider. JW.
JW.
Yeah, our Sandman. Him too. So, as I say, we've got some paranormal news, I believe, haven't we, Steve, that we can talk about?
We've got a couple of things I can tell you about.
So, but first of all, Neil, what have you been doing all week? What's happened?
What I've not been doing.
What have you not been doing then?
Apart from work and the gym and the kids.
What is it with the gym?
I love the gym. I live in the gym.
Come here, your tag's out.
I'm tagged. Been tagged.
So,
well,
you live at that gym?
I do actually. Yeah.
Is there somebody there?
No.
No.
No, only me.
Oh right. Okay.
I like the mirrors in there.
Oh, the hand's right. In front of the mirror.
Whoa, in front of the mirror.
Well, there is some posing that goes on, but yeah.
Not in getting in behind anyone of late.
What happens in the gym stays in the gym. Okay.
You're not getting in behind anyone of late then.
No, I do not get in behind people. That was a brazen mistake.
Oh, it was. Go on, explain what I'm talking about.
I'm not going to explain that one.
Shall I explain it?
No, because you'll make it sound even worse.
No.
Okay, I went into the men's locker room. Not even thinking, because I've just done a workout, so my brain's not with it. There's a guy stood in front of my locker, completely naked, toweling himself down, and I said, "Excuse me, can I get in behind you?" I stuttered. I stuttered for about 5 seconds, realising what I'd just said, and I apologised profusely. Told him I wasn't coming out the closet or anything like that.
Oh my god!
So quite embarrassing. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think his talcum powder went everywhere. Anyway.
It had to happen to you.
Yes, I always pick a locker now in a locker room that is well away from the changing benches.
Oh my God.
It's not good. It's not good. I did actually go by a nickname from that experience as well.
Oh yeah?
Mr. Locker Lover, if you remember.
Mr. Locker Lover.
Yeah.
And you told people that story because I was laughing and everyone probably wondered what the hell I was talking about. That's why I thought I'd tell you.
Well, it's out now, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So is Neil Munnerley. No.
See, that's what would have happened if you'd have told the story. You know? You would have added bits in.
So, and how's our Leanne?
Leanne's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Feeling better?
A lot better.
That's good then.
We're actually going away next week. Going on one of these spa breaks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, total relaxation.
Next weekend?
No, during the week.
Oh, that's all right then. Because you know what was happening next weekend?
No, I'm here next weekend. Don't worry.
Well, let me tell you exactly what's going on at the moment in our life, apart from the government trying to ruin us. Sorry.
I hadn't actually finished telling you what I've been doing.
Well, go on then. What else have you been doing? Well, have you been doing more? That makes you change.
I've had a couple of magazine interviews.
All right. Okay. Yes.
As you know.
Yes.
Which are coming out soon.
Mm.
But I'll keep you posted.
Keeping us posted.
And I've also been invited to a big magazine anniversary bash.
Next
month,
who's that for?
Which I'm keeping it quiet at the moment. Let you know when the photographs come out.
Oh dear! Look, he's getting flashed now, isn't he?
You know.
So.
But no, it's all been.
Plus, we've got some parties coming on, haven't we?
Yeah, there's some parties coming on
at the end of the month.
I am hoping to start my shows off again soon.
Good. Neil Munnerley on tour.
Yes, it's going to start off in the great pie-eating town of Wigan.
Wigan.
Out of all places, but I'm up in Wigan tomorrow to have a look at that. So hopefully we'll get that off the ground soon.
Oh, good.
Don't forget your banner.
Yes, and your banner.
Banners will be done soon.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's all go, isn't it?
It is all go.
We've had a respite for the past few months, but it's starting to kick off.
Yep.
Well,
it is.
Anything else that's happened?
No.
Right. Okay. Shall I tell you what's happened to us then? Or you know what's happened to us, but remember when Ben Hansen was on? Hansen. That's that guy from America.
Hansen, otherwise known as Ben.
Handsome. He's handsome. When Ben Hansen was on, he was talking about his thermal imaging company, and I happened to miss that bit.
Yeah, she got cheeky.
And I got a bit cheeky and said, would you mind me asking if you would like any English paranormal group to test any of your thermal imaging cameras? And he said he would if you could send them over, but it's something to do with their deportation tax. But if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah,
and I actually said,
send them abroad, is it?
No, I actually said to him, it'd be good though if somebody could sponsor us. Yeah. And funny enough, a week later, I got a call, or rather, I got an email from a lovely young lady in America who's asked if we can do some advertising on our show. And basically, they're now sponsoring us, aren't they, Steve?
They are indeed, as you may have noticed when you come on the page today.
Yes.
Buddy Bye Bye.
Yes, they are actually sponsors. So you will hear a snippet of the advert during tonight's show, and later on, when we sort out the replay, it will be on the end of the replay as well. So if you want to hear more about that, then you'll be able to click on to the advert on our webpage, or when you listen to the replay. It sounds very good, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, being American, it's all...
yeah.
But the shakes that they're talking about were originally done for people that are bedridden.
Yeah.
That help keep their weight down.
Well, this is it.
Basically, it's a bit like some of the shakes we've had over here, but apparently it's a lot better.
Yeah, a bit like it is pyramid selling, I think, Debs.
Yeah, you replace a meal with a shake.
Yeah, and they do have a lot of
Nothing that a good old tin of prunes can sort out.
They've actually got a lot of
flakes.
products that they're actually saying they'll give you for doing stuff, haven't they? They've got products like saying for like you've got the basic kit if you just want to build up some muscle or whatever it is.
The basic kit is if you want to just level out your weight, keep your weight down.
Oh right, okay.
The second kit is if you want to
Maintain this bit.
do a bit of mean and lean.
Mean and lean, and then mean and lean.
Yeah.
If-
Can you make it dance?
Can you make it dance?
No, he can't.
And yes, you can get a BMW. Hello, Debs. Have you been looking at the advert by any chance?
Yes, become a director in 7 days.
I know someone in the US who had a chat about it. Right, okay. Well, we went to their one of their shows, didn't we? The other day. See what we can find out
see
about
what
it.
it's all about.
So,
if you wouldn't want to just, even though they offered to basically sponsor us by putting the adverts up, we wouldn't want to put something on that was completely
not viable.
just not right.
Yeah.
So it's like with everything else, we want to keep everything straight. Although it does seem to be a good product, but if it turns out otherwise, we will remove it. But
at the moment, we're happy with it.
We're happy with everything we see.
Yeah. So it looks okay to me. So
and they seem to be. It's not only the biggest weight loss system in North America, it's also the biggest growing business.
Yes, definitely.
People are earning a lot of money doing it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
They're happy to do that. They said we can do it, and we went, no thanks. We'll stick to what we do.
Stick to what we know. But anyway, as long as you're happy, she says. Well, this is it. Well, at the end of the day, us advertising for them is helping to keep the server going so we can bring our show to you anyway, isn't it, darling?
Yep.
So, you know.
The yearly thing for it will cover not only the server, but the domains as well.
Yeah, this is it.
Keep everything up and running.
Hello, all. Just letting you know I'm humidity. So Todd's all ready for us when we get round to him. Right, so we might be a bit with him earlier. So you better get on with the old paranormal news and observations. What have you got?
Well, first of all, I picked up something that was in the Daily Mail on the 8th. The young lady saying, "Please give me a new house. Please, mother who believes her home is haunted by a ghost of a man called Nigel."
Nigel Mortimer.
Did he come through the portal?
I wonder why he's not been around.
Stacey McGill claims ghost flicks lights and microwave on and off. Paranormal investigator identified male energy at Loughborough House. Miss McGill felt cobwebs on her skin when she first moved in back in December. Lives with a partner Carl, 25, and an 18-month-old daughter Chelsea. Basically, what's been happening there, they've been having lights going on and off, microwave going on and off. Posters are being moved around the walls.
What?
She says further on, I have actually posted it on the KTPF discussion page.
Posters are moving around the wall?
Yeah, they've been moved. So if it's in here, this planet wouldn't be there, it'd be over there.
Over there? And it's moving the posters around the wall?
Apparently,
allegedly.
Yeah.
What else is it doing?
Well, that's basically it at the moment. Apparently, a gentleman that went in, Mr. Vickers, he's from the TSL Holistic Centre.
Yeah.
I don't know his qualifications or anything, but he's picked up on this Nigel.
Yeah. Says
he was basically he was a 30-year-old, but he had younger mental age, and obviously he was hidden as a child and took to drink. But
so this ghost obviously don't like where the posters are. What do you think to this, Neil? Neil, what do you think?
He did take a friend of ours in from the female ghost hunting team that we know, Carly. We have tried to get in touch with Carly to see if she can enlighten us anymore, but unfortunately we've not been able to get in touch.
No, we haven't. So
what would you say to that one, Neil?
What would you say to that, Neil?
Well, the first thing I heard was I need a new house.
You need a new house?
Yeah, she wants give me, move me out.
Well, this is it, you know.
I'll tell you what, it's quite a common thing.
moving house. Yeah, the people are making up.
Yeah.
You know.
Or the new bedroom tax coming out. Everyone's got a poltergeist now.
Well, this is it. Funny enough, we've got Kerry coming on next week.
Yeah, it's called David Cameron.
And
Yeah,
we've got Kerry coming on next week on the show. She was going to come on. She was scheduled a couple of months ago, but she was taken ill. She's actually going to be talking about the fakery side of people saying all this and why they do it. So it tallies in with that sort of thing.
It goes a lot deeper than what you think.
Yeah.
The fakery side. You know, and some people do actually believe it's going on, and it's their own mind that's manifesting it.
Yeah.
It's not actually a poltergeist as such. It's their own mind that's actually manifesting these things that happen. And they believe that they're actually happening.
We went to a house, didn't we, a while ago, and she was looking to get out. Yeah. And this, that, and the other, because she assumed stuff was going on. Yeah. So, you know, it's now the new excuse, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's been an excuse for years.
Has it really?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So, okay. Don't mind me, I've been asleep.
I mean, as
I think
as Steve was telling us when he was on, that they actually have people that contact different groups to check these things out for them.
Yeah. So what, Steve Mara?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he was saying that does actually work a lot for the councils and that.
Councils, they don't really admit that they go down that path, but they do actually have a section where they will send some people in to check it out.
Double check it and that. So
any councils listening, we'll check it.
And we do it free.
And we do it
yes,
free.
We do not charge.
What's the next one then?
Another thing, we have a UFO documentary reveals humanoid and unknown classification.
Oh yeah, what's that all about?
A new documentary which I think you've put on the thing called Sarvis.
Oh yes.
It's a new documentary on UFOs, extraterrestrials, advanced clean energy. Hopes to provide evidence that the government has figured out how UFOs operate and are hiding advanced technology. This is supposed to know anyway. There's loads of different technology that's out there that we're not being told about. I mean, there was a sudden big jump in the 70s and 80s, wasn't there? In new stuff coming through.
Yeah.
But basically, they're saying all that, and I actually saw the video for it, and they've got this. Well, we've all seen the alien bodies, haven't we?
Yeah.
This thing's about 8 inches long.
Okay.
And they've actually taken stuff from inside the skull and tested it, and it's an unknown classification. It's not coming up humanoid or anything.
Okay.
So that's out. It's actually being released on the, I think it's 23rd.
23rd of April.
23rd of April it's out. So have a look, see what you think.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, next we have, and I only picked it up today.
Uh-huh.
Let me get round to it. Let me see. There it is. Manchester is a hotspot for UFOs.
Oh, right. Steve Merritt's been on the case again.
Police confirms multiple unexplained sightings. And yes, me and Neil have seen them.
Yes, we have.
We have, in our back garden, haven't we?
We have.
Nothing detailed enough to actually see what it was. But we've seen these things
but it had to
there.
be something that was unexplained.
It's Greater Manchester's hotspot, it says here, and Greater Manchester Police have confirmed there have been a number of reports of unexplained sightings of UFOs identified flying objects last year. In 2012, areas in Woodley, Alberton, Hume, Droylsden have all reported to have UFOs.
Droylsden, that's just up from us.
Just up the road. Yeah. Lighting up the sky. Freedom of information request made by Mancunian Matters revealed. Describing in full lights in a huge bright yellow green lights with huge beam, and I think it's been probed here. We've got the huge beam here, look. I wonder if they're talking about that kind of beam.
I don't know.
Beaming down to get somebody. I know. A golden glowing light was reported to police in 2012 and was later listed as unexplained. And Steve Merritt's been looking into this.
Has he?
He has indeed. I remember last time he was on, he actually saw something on the motorway as he was coming through, but he was asking if anybody else here.
Yeah.
As he was coming down the M6. But that was in Mancunian Matters. You can catch that online, or you can have a look in the discussion area. They've placed it all in there for people to see.
That's in the forum, isn't it,
That's
Steve?
in the forum, yes.
Right, is that all from the observations?
That's all for now.
We don't find much these days, do we? It's not being put in the news as much, don't you agree?
I actually read something today, and I don't talk about UFOs quite a lot, as you know.
No.
It's not my given subject, but there was something today that was focusing on our DNA.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple of scientists over in Kazakhstan who believe that our DNA has actually been programmed by aliens billions of years before this Earth was created. And what they're saying is that we were actually seeded on this Earth, and this Earth was sort of made for our living.
Yeah.
These two scientists have been looking at this DNA, and they're saying that our DNA is actually carrying signals to other alien worlds. What the truth is in that, I don't know. But
well, when we was talking to Derek Akora recently, he did say that there was going to be some news roughly in 2014. So maybe sooner or later we'll find something out.
It's something to do with the mathematics of our DNA build-up.
It's coming.
Is not. It's that perfect.
Yeah.
We couldn't just evolve with it.
So
maybe there's something in there.
Basically saying our basic ladder is just a little bit too well made.
For somebody who's not into this stuff, you're saying there's maybe something into it. There's got to be something. Yeah. Because you don't normally, do you?
You're saying that the mathematics of it all, the actual DNA that we're built up from, is too perfect and we can't evolve like that.
No.
And that's what they're trying to say, is that there's something more in it. But it's almost like we've been programmed. And they did mention something similar towards what's that film called? Let me take the red pill or the blue pill. Matrix. A bit like the Matrix, that we're sort of living in like a programmed sort of world rather than.
Well, there you have it.
Well, talking about the Matrix. Now, I actually spotted something on one of the things I looked at today, that they can actually prove that there's tears in the time matrix, so time travel is actually possible. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. There's been tears in the fabric of time, albeit temporary or otherwise, and it is possible. Theoretically, it is possible to actually time travel.
I think it is possible. I mean, there was an advert seen last week in an American newspaper, and it actually it was in the classified bit, and it actually stated, anybody who wants to travel back in time with me, you're quite welcome. Bring your own weapons. Yeah. I've only ever done this once. Please contact me on such and such a number. and somebody actually commented on that. Well, this looks legit.
I don't know.
I've only done this once. Bring your own weapons.
Excuse me. Having said that, you can do that just by astral travel, if you wish. So,
as I know.
As you know. Yes. You've been there, haven't you?
I've been there.
Perhaps you can tell us more about that later.
Like you Debbie's looking for a time traveller. Yes, she said it was in Canada, wasn't it?
I think it was in Canada, she said.
What you just read.
What, the newspaper? It was America or Canada?
Yeah, she said she thinks it was in Canada.
Looking for a time travel.
Looking for a time travel, yeah. Bring your own weapons. I've only ever done
that. Right, let me just double check who's in the hub tonight anyway. We've got Simply Joe, we've got Green Lee, we've got Cheeky, and we've got JW, which is Ghost Rider 2973. Little Shih Tzu is me, so if you see me popping in now and again, because I'm small and my name is Sue.
Yeah, she's the one that you can't actually read her name.
Okay, we got Reiki Debs, as I said, and Shadow One is Steve, and there's also one there that says T Bates, which just happens to be our guest for this evening, and Mr. Todd, and I'm about to give him a call. So hopefully he's ready for us.
Yeah, so turn the sound off on the show, Don. It's going to give us a mixed circle.
I beg your pardon.
It will reverberate round. He knows that.
He knows what he's doing.
He's done enough radio stuff.
Let's see if we can get Mr. Todd Bates on the line.
Hello, hello.
Hi, good evening, Todd.
How are you guys?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, lousy, but thanks for asking.
Okay. Why are you giving me the questions? They're for you to ask.
Well, the mic's right over there, so it's easy for you to do it.
So you're fine, are you? Looking forward to this evening?
No, he's lousy, but thanks for asking.
Are you looking forward to this evening? It could be crazy, I must admit.
I hope so.
I don't know. Hopefully everybody can hear you okay in the chat room.
I
assume.
I got a pretty big mouth.
Right, okay. Now, for those of you who don't know Todd Bates, we first found out about Mr. Todd M. Bates, whatever the M stands for. Todd Mr. Todd Moriarty.
Yeah, I think it's Moriarty.
We found out first about Mr. Todd Bates back in, it was about 2005, 6, I think, when we was with our old group and we was doing, our co-founders at the time was doing a haunted, a radio show on haunted voices, which was a station that Todd was running at the time, and then it sort of escalated from there, and then we disbanded from our group, and then we met up again recently. So Todd, tell us all about that time. What got you into all that, and how it all produced and everything?
Oh my goodness, yeah, what a crazy story. I've been skeptical about the paranormal in general pretty much all of my life, thinking, oh, come on, ghosts, they don't exist, blah, blah, blah. As far as ghosts existing, Bigfoot, things like that, I wasn't interested at all. UFOs, I did follow those, believe in those. As a matter of fact, I thought Star Wars was a true story, but, getting into the whole founding aspect of it, it all started with a simple ghost tour. And, the tour was with now a good friend of mine, Jason Snyder, Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunters Society. And my wife and sister-in-law kept poking and prodding me. Come on, you're going to love it. Let's just go see how it is. So okay. So I talked to Jason a little bit and brought my little shoebox tape recorder, the old cassette. Yes, the magnetic tape, not digital. And carried this out and took this to the tour. And immediately I was just drawn to this old barn back in the back. Of course, everybody else is just hovered around the house. There's flash bulbs going off everywhere. And I just went back to be by myself in this old barn. And sitting there, just kind of hit the record button and started talking. Is there anybody here? And, just asking just random questions. I mean, I'm in a barn, of all places. So I take this back. We come back. We had a great time. And, of course, I didn't see anything firsthand, didn't witness anything. So, I came back and played the tape. And I heard this. You're really going to laugh. I heard this horse, of all things, was my first the first EVP captured was a horse, an animal. And I heard the stomping first. And then you hear you hear it was obviously upset or something that I was there. I don't know. But from that point on, I became obsessed on how that was captured on that tape. I didn't hear it with my naked ear. So I'm wondering how in the world did this get captured? And it all kind of unfolded from there. I was with Jason's group for a little while and worked for a magazine as well, a paranormal magazine. On top of that, 2002, I did the switch. I kind of focused on electronic voice phenomena. There's so much in the paranormal to follow. I had to choose one thing to focus on, to specialize in, and I chose electronic voice phenomena. And stemmed off, founded Haunted Voices. The name just caught my attention. It just, boom, there it was. And here we are. I mean, it just exploded. It was just a simple website. Matter of fact, Alex Cheeky, as you guys see him in the chat room, he has been with me since the very beginning. And of course, I remember you guys from the network and Tameside, I think it was. And, yeah. And, it just kind of formed into that. It started out with lessons.
It's 2:30.
Oh, sorry about that. It started out with lessons, and I was doing private lessons for people, and then the demand became so high. With the lesson, I was the only one out there at the time that gave EVP lessons, and it just kind of, I said, I just need to reach more people, and the idea came. I had a friend that said, hey, I have all these radio servers. Why don't you try one out and try and reach them that way? So I was building that, and in the meantime, I was with BBS Radio, which is where it first debuted, the Haunted Voices radio show, and I was just teaching EVP lessons to just a wide variety of people. It was the easiest way to reach them. And that's kind of how everything stemmed out, and then it just snowballed from there.
And how long was the Haunted Voices radio going for?
Oh, my goodness. The first 2004 was when I aired the website. The end of 2004 was the first broadcast on BBS, and it stemmed on its own entity in March of 2006. So it's been just going since then and building. It was a network, then it wasn't a network. There's just as you guys know, there's so much involved with setting up one of these and maintaining it, getting sponsorship. It's tough.
Yeah, I'm surprised we've actually got sponsorship. I couldn't believe that when that happened.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Most of mine sued me, so yeah, you guys are doing good.
Hey, stop talking.
Yeah, we've only been going just over 12 months.
We've just been going for just over 12 months. We started on the 21st of March, as I said before, yesterday. And as I say, it all sort of fell in. Would you like to do a show, thinking that we were going to be guests? And as I said, it turned out that we weren't guests. We were actually going to be running a show. And here we are today, still going, and we've had some great guests on. So
you should be very proud of yourself. That is a hard thing to accomplish these days.
Yeah, we are still looking for some more guests, I must admit. But as I say, it's not. I say it's not big, but we do get some good listeners in, and they do participate. So we thank them for that. So and hopefully the replays that are on YouTube, there are quite a few views on them, so that's quite good. So are you still with us, Todd?
Oh, yeah, I'm still here. I'm trying to shut off this lady that tells the time for me. Cause I'm...
Why is it going off every minute? It is 2:31. It is 2:35. Okay, so for those of us who can't afford an array of sound and vision, what would you say was the best way to record EVPs for those for those without any funds?
I tell you what, with today's, oh Lord, I can't believe I'm going to get into this. With today's paranormal community and the wide variety of media, the competition, everybody thinks they have to have the latest and greatest gadget to capture a ghostly voice or to get the greatest picture. No, you don't need a thing. You need about $10. You may not even need that. If the older the better. What people don't seem to understand is to capture a voice. That's actually the easy part, but it's how you go about doing it. You need simple equipment. We haven't even discovered how it's captured on magnetic tape, and here we are moving into the digital world.
Yeah.
Already. We need to focus. It was founded on a reel-to-reel recorder, the old reel-to-reels, which are very expensive nowadays. But the magnetic tape recorders, the analog recorders, I cannot stress that enough. I can't, because you get raw sound from that. You get raw sound, plus you have the backup copy on the tape. Now, digital recording is great, okay, and they're inexpensive. They're not too expensive to get a digital recorder, and they do work. You can capture voices on them. The problem is a lot of people want things now, fast. So they're going to plug that straight into their computer through a USB cable, universal serial bus, there straight into the computer. Boom! It uploads 2 hours of recordings in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And what that does, it puts it into an MP3 format. And compresses it into 3 layers. That's what that is. It compresses it, and you actually lose audio. I have done this countless times and lost 20 seconds here, 4 minutes there, 12 minutes here. You lose, and that could be a valuable recording that you have right there, and it's gone. If you do use a digital, buy what's called a patch cable, audio patch cable. They're so inexpensive. All your department stores have them now, especially if you use the iPods or what have you. They have the two male ends or the little sticks on the end there, and you just plug those in, and you get the raw audio uploaded from there. Don't use the USB. That's just a quick tip. And as far as the analog, you do the same thing. You plug in that same cable to the tape recorder. You plug it in, you upload it to your computer. If you want to, it's always best to hear it raw, of course, but you upload it to your computer. You can use the software. I use Adobe Audition. There's WavePad is fantastic. It's free. That's a great program to use. And then you could listen to it there and analyze, do what have you. Just don't sit there and overcorrect the things. People, they get in there, and they think they hear a voice, and then they cut everything else around it out, and they amplify that voice, and it becomes distorted and horrible and just nasty. Less is more. The least amount you have to do, the better. It's simple. And if anybody has any problems, they can contact me, and I'll do my best to help them out, walk them through, whatever need be. But those are just a few things you can do with old school equipment that's inexpensive. It doesn't cost much at all, and it's so simple to use. And you stay away from the digital high tech. You don't need these IR cameras and blah 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 and this. You don't need that. It's great. It's flashy. Hey, we got this. We spent $500 on this. Oh, really? How's the sound when you capture an EVP? Well, we haven't done that yet. But the guy down the street with an old magnetic tape, he gets them all the time. It's a lot of it's common sense and what you believe to your theories and what you practice.
For what you just said there, Todd, doing it digitally, you lose it on an MP3 format. I tend to save it as a WAV file. Would you still lose?
Yes. Very good practice. WAV is a raw. It is the best way to present a file. The only time that I would use MP3 to compress would be if you're going to share them on your website or share them on the internet. Wow. Once all of the corrections have been made, compress it. Get it out there. That's fine. But if you're analyzing, you want the rawest sound that you can get, which is your WAV format, which is what it uploads from an analog as well. All straight WAV. And of course it's a bigger file. It's bigger for a reason, because everything's there. Sure, it is digitalized once it goes from the analog to the computer, but it's still the same sound. It's not altered.
Right. Well, we've had a few more listeners coming onto the chat room. We've got ECPC Tracy Todd, who loves your T-shirt, by the way. She can see what it says. Yeah. Okay, she said get away from MP3 format and use WAV D format.
There's one.
Pardon? What was that?
I said, there's one. That's good. That's what I like to hear.
Obviously, Cheeky says he picked up a 4-tape recorder for under 20 quid. We've also got Tiggers coming, so hi to him. And
Ghost Girls
Todd. Now, Todd, I've been trying to get on the show for quite some time, so it's nice to see him in the chat room. He says you're his hero, or your Ghost Girls hero, either way. So it's nice to see Ghost Girls Todd in the chat room at last. So you've been doing this EVP research for quite some time, and basically, first of all, what is an EVP? Just for those who may not know, and why did we call them electric voice phenomena? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, the basic definition is it's a disembodied voice. Of voices from the dead. Electronic voice phenomena. What that means is it's captured electronically, obviously, on a device, recording medium. It doesn't. And people have tried to put this into the ITC or instrumental transcommunication. Okay, that's different. That's using television sets, video, things of that nature. Your ghost boxes that are out there. That's not an actual EVP. That's more instrumental. Okay, you're using this instrument, and I know you're going to say, well, you're using a tape recorder. Well, it's not. It's different. It's just different. It is a separate entity than ITC. They came about pretty heavy back in the 50s when there was a Swedish film producer named Fredrik Jurgensen, and he was out in the woods recording bird calls for a film he was making. Needed the sound effects. Reel-to-reel recorder. This guy had no idea. He didn't believe in ghosts or anything. Goes out there and hears his mother's voice on the recording. Of course, he's shocked by it. And he kind of did the same, or I should say I did the same thing he did, is he became obsessed with finding the source of that voice. And that's how it happened. He heard his own mother. He wanted to find out how she got on there. So all this research develops, with Jurgensen and Raymond Cass and Sarah Estep, who developed this classification system we all use to this day, the ABC system. These are the pioneers of electronic voice phenomena. Now, back then, obviously, things were completely different. They couldn't fire up a computer. They couldn't do this. They had to do everything by sight and sound. That's all they had. And it's kind of obviously gone to the wayside with that, to where everything is digital, which is good. Digital is cheaper, yes, but it's just not credible, and the people are out to prove to the wrong people. Yeah. You don't need to prove that ghosts exist to anyone. You need to prove to yourself, because usually it's a personal curiosity. Is there life after death? Can we talk with them? Can they hear us? Can they see us? And that's where it all just rolls down in, and that's how EVP was separated from ITC. ITC, like I said, it's mainly video, and it's a completely different animal than EVP. It's completely separate. And that's very important.
There's a theory that the essence of an EVP is from EMF. What do you say about this?
That's very possible, yes. Personally, I believe that it is magnetic based, EMF being your electromagnetic field. It is believed that the spirit realm, okay, obviously they're not supposed to come into our world, but they do. And when they do, they disrupt a field. You have to disrupt something to enter this dimension. So they create a magnetic field, that's why I feel the analog is much, much better, because it's magnetic tape. Put two and two together. Magnetic field, magnetic tape. Almost like super glue. Bam. It's drawn right to the tape in certain cases. Now, as far as other reasons they manifest and things, I'll throw an easy example. Everybody's heard of cold spots. Everybody's heard of the cold spots. Oh, it's chilly in here, or oh, I just walked into a cold spot. That goes in with the belief that when they come to this dimension, they have to draw all the heated molecules out of the air. Those contain the most energy, the most ions and things, and they use those to manifest. Now, when they leave, they have to leave those behind. Obviously, they can't take something from here there. So that's where you get your hot spots, which you do have those as well, where they dump them and take off. So when you enter a room and it's just freezing cold, that could be one, it could be a group, it could be some kind of portal, it could be a lot of things. And all those play a key role in capturing the voice and communicating with it. I'm not saying go in there with a winter coat and sit down for an afternoon. No, I mean, it's something that you really have to work at. You have to develop a relationship with the spirits that you're trying to talk to. That is some of the research I've done in an old schoolhouse, and it's amazing at how they develop. They do have memory. They can see. They don't necessarily understand the equipment. They're afraid of it. So you have to really teach them. You have to introduce them to what you're doing. You can't just go in there, hit the record button. Okay, talk. They're not stage performers.
No.
They're people like you and I.
No, this is it. So what was the best EVP you could actually say you've captured?
Oh my. There's different ones. I'd say the most clear that I've captured, as far as we'll go with a nice one. Yeah, I've been cussed out several times. It happens. And it's a very simple hello. It was an elderly woman. This was on an old bridge here in the county where I live, and it's a Class A example. I could play it if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
I'm getting a bit of an echo on my mic for some reason. I don't know why, but hopefully it's okay for everybody else. But yeah, if you can play it, that'd be great.
Okay, this was on an old bridge, really close to where I live here, and it was just a random. We were just walking, just doing some different experiments there and such, and this was just so random. It just popped on of an elderly woman just simply saying hello. I'll go ahead and see if you guys can hear this.
Yeah, that was clear.
Did you hear that okay?
That was very clear.
Yeah. And that was just a,
Yeah, that was
just a random old lady popping in there, hello. And I believe that was interactive.
Yeah.
You're intelligent, and then you have your residual, which I'll tell another good capture of that. That one was so bad I was asked to pull it off of display site I had it on. It's a little disturbing, the story behind that.
Have you any idea who it is? Todd's asking.
The one I just played?
Yeah.
That could be anybody. See, this was captured at a place called Purple Head Bridge in Vincennes, Indiana. And it's an old train bridge. And you would think there's no people on it. But apparently they were close by. It may have been some kind of old depot. I don't know. But that's where it was captured. And it was nicknamed, it's the original name is Cannonball Bridge. If anybody wants to go out there and investigate it, by all means, have fun with that. But that was captured with an analog recorder. And that would be your Class A example. And I also have to put in there that these files I'm playing here, I have a great friend that has a website, paraexplorerproject.com, and he's put all these up there for me. I lose them all the time. He put them up there for me. So thanks, Matt, for taking care of that. But the old woman, just a Class A example, and the residual example, there was a case here very close that I did, and thank God I closed it out in time. It was one of those, I'm sure you guys have heard of the mafia over there. Yeah, this was one of those. It was a contract hit. The husband wanted his wife killed, plain and simple. The guy goes in and kills the mother, bludgeons her to death with a baseball bat. Horrible. But he didn't know that her 2 children were in there. They were supposed to be at her grandmother's, and he didn't know they were in there. So he goes to set the place afire, which is what he was supposed to do. And the kids were left inside. They were found. They witnessed the whole murder of their mother, everything. They were found in the closet, holding hands, obviously, burned to death.
Yeah.
And they rebuilt the home, and the resident there had called me, hey, we have some big problems here. I'm sitting on the couch. I have these, something is snuggling up to me every night on both sides, and I'm hearing these just wicked voices, from what I presume to be the mother yelling at this woman, trying to get her out of the home. So I went there, and of course she had moved out. They scared her. She's gone. So what I did was I placed the tape recorder right there on the front porch of the home, outside. Didn't go inside the home at all. placed the recorder out there, asked a few questions, and I got a few answers. Some of those are on disc still. But the guy that did it, he's dead. You know, she named him. It was just a crazy, crazy case. But this is a residual EVP file, and what you can hear in this is, of course, the woman being killed, and you can hear the 2 children. And you know, with the story behind this, I had this up on you know, like I said, the Haunted Voices site for a while, and people, it just really disturbed people. It really disturbed them. But I'll go ahead and play this for you. And this just goes to show that you don't have to be within the home or within the business to capture it. It's all around. It's just everywhere around. Here's a little sample of that. And that's the wind going into the microphone that you're hearing and things. You can hear the screaming. It's just wicked stuff. They captured on the front porch of the house, of all places. I mean, it was just, and that was another local one. You know, there's other cases I've done. There's just numerous cases. The Sally House being probably one of my most frightening, most involving. It consumed me. I became obsessed with it. I had to close that one myself. And, you know, I can get into that story if you want, if you guys have time.
Yeah, we've got plenty of time, Todd.
Okay.
Yeah, before you go on, Todd, can I just ask?
Absolutely.
What did you think of that, Neil, as a medium?
As a medium, EVP. I don't know. I mean, I sat on the fence with EVP, as you know, but just listening to them two there, what he's just sort of played. Sorry, am I whispering again? Sorry.
Yes.
The second one seems to me very, very real. I'm not sure about the first one, but the second one does sound very, very real as an EVP.
Is that what you're? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know whether before you do, I just want to see if this will play and whether anyone can hear it. Right, okay. I don't know whether you can hear that at all. Whether you can hear that in the actual chat room. I'm not sure it's actually coming over the speakers, unfortunately.
I can hear it.
Can you?
Yes.
Right.
It's not coming on air.
Is it not?
It's very, very faint on there.
Hold on, let's see what I can do. Try one more time. Surprised it's not coming through, actually. Ooh. 2 seconds. Well, that was one that we caught at a public house. We're actually asking for something to happen, and there's supposed to have been the taps go on, according to Most Haunted, in one of the ensuite bedrooms. And when I checked the voice recorder, I got that. Now I will show you. But I checked that in the break just before we finished. The taps did start dripping. So that's about the best one to date.
If you could send me the original copy of that, I would love to go through that. If you don't
I'll
mind,
wash it out.
I can guarantee you it goes no further. That's
that's been enhanced, but I have got the original somewhere, you know. So with the other voices on as well, you know, not in the room where somebody says the taps are dripping, and somebody goes, oh, you know. So I can do that. I don't know why I'm getting an echo on my mic. I really don't. Anyway, there's a question before you go on from Cheeky. If Todd could investigate anywhere in England, where would it be?
Anywhere in England.
Have you been to England?
I'd have to say the London Towers.
Oh yeah.
I would love to. I mean, Europe alone. Jeez, I'd be like a kid in a candy store over there.
Definitely.
The London Towers, Paris Catacombs. I'd love to spend a few days in there. alone with just a recorder, it would be fantastic. There's a lot of different places over there. The country is just so old, and there's so much history, so much plague and war over there. There'd be just a great deal. I mean, pretty much any place would be a great place to investigate over there. You guys are very lucky people.
I'm actually going to Romania in May.
Wow.
To go back to Bran Castle. We went there last year.
We did. Unfortunately, we'll get a chance to investigate it ourselves, me and you this time, because it was the first time it had been done, and we were too busy dealing with a lot of TV people, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, the speakers up high your end, Todd.
I'm
wondering whether I can hear the bounce back from your end.
Could be. Let me. How's that?
That sounds a bit better. Yay! That's better.
Yeah, is that a little better?
Yay! Yeah, that's perfect. So,
Jeez,
you were going to tell us anyway. You were going to go into something, weren't you?
Oh, the Sally House case. That's probably something that most people recognize me by is that case. There's been a lot with it. The Sally House it's a small little home in Atchison, Kansas, of all places. It's kind of in a little tiny Norman Rockwell-like town. Really nice town. But the story behind the Sally House is the little girl, which we really don't know her name is Sally or not. That was just psychic Peter James came up with that name, actually. We don't know what her name is. But the house itself is, well, it's a hellhole. It's awful. Deborah and Tony Pickman moved into that home in 1993. And they started to have all kinds of wicked things happen. They were having things thrown across the room. There were sightings. There were them being woken up in the middle of the night. Things being burned is another big problem with that haunting. Was, I guess, this little girl had a fixation with fire, and rose petals on the end, from the center out, they were burned. Equipment was burned. There, the house itself is just really unsettled. You feel the tension as soon as you go in. Of course, now it's a big tourist trap. Everybody goes there and stays the night. And, it's ridiculous. But the level of the haunting is extremely high. It's active at certain points, and of course, it lays dormant. Is it demonic? I wouldn't say it's demonic, no. But the things that stand out to me the most are the draw that it had on me. I would get up randomly at 1, 2 in the morning, jump in the car, drive 8 hours to Kansas. Ridiculous. I became obsessed with the place. Going inside, it looks like your average old-style home, quiet, quaint, and the owner at the time would let me go in and research whenever I wished, and I took full advantage of that. I didn't get that many vocal captures out of there. I really didn't. I didn't pull that much out. They're not very talkative. They're more going to show you examples than speak. I mean, I did capture one out of there, but it wasn't anything to really write home about. That place is more of a personal haunting. I hate using that term, but it's what you make it. Yeah. You go in there. It's 3 o'clock. You go in there. You don't need to provoke. People go in there and provoke and things. It's just a violent area. It can be. Now, let's see. It was 2006, I believe, and I had formed the team. Haunted Voices Investigations there, which was my wife and mother-in-law and sister-in-law and a few other people. And we went down there for an investigation trip. And Tony Pickman he came over, of course, his wife, Deb, and he wanted to go back inside. Now, he hadn't been inside the home since 95, I think, when they moved out. He hasn't been inside there since then. So we bring him in, and, I strongly recommended, hey, it's not a good idea. So he comes inside, and he's feeling the place out. He's walking around, and he's very guarded against the wall a lot. You can tell there was a lot of fear in there, a lot of curiosity too, but he wanted to see if it was still the way it was. So we're walking him through there. Downstairs was, he was tense, and we went upstairs to the master bedroom, which is where a lot of these things happened to him and his wife. So we went up there, and of course we were filming. Had a guy at my chapel. He was filming there behind us, and we just stepped out of the third bedroom when the camera catches, and the video's on YouTube. It's just type in Sally House Attack. It's on there of what we captured, and Tony was just came out of nowhere. This cut, it was right there across his wrist. It was just shocking. There was no blood whatsoever until we got him outside. Get him outside, and he just starts bleeding. It's about a 2-inch gash. It was good size, required stitches, but of course he didn't go. So he gets cut. We're out there cleaning him up, and we go back inside. And I said, Tony, I really don't want you going back in here. I don't recommend it at all. And he insisted. So what we did is we sat him in a chair in the dining room. There's no furniture in there, just a fold-out chair. We sat him there, and we said, just stay here. Don't move. So he's in there, and it was probably 5-10 minutes go by, and he kind of lifts up like something's hurting him. And keep in mind that a couple months prior to that, they had lost their television remote at home. It just disappeared. A remote, something common. So Tony just kind of, it's ouch, he's uncomfortable. And he pulls out this remote that it's burning. It's cracking, it's burning. You can hear it pop. It's twisting. I grab it, and it's starting to twist. So I immediately take it into the kitchen and start taking pictures of it. And take the photos of it. And we just kind of move on from there, because it has a habit of burning our cameras, messing with videotape. It just does all kinds of things in this home. It's really, really wicked. And so Tony's sitting there. He's become really agitated. So he comes, and I said, well, just come in here in the kitchen. I'm going over some audio. You can, he's curious. He wants to see how it's done. So he's standing against the basement door. Now, the basement is a whole other area. That's just where this thing lives and breeds. It's crazy down there. So he's standing in front of the basement door, which is closed. And I had captured a little voice, and I wanted him to hear it. And I said, Tony, come on over. So he steps away from the door and didn't really feel anything. I'll get to how that plays out here in a minute, but he steps away from the door, walks over to me, and I'm going through. I said, well, okay, if you look at this, there's this, and I'm kind of just showing him what these different things are. And I look up, and his forehead, across his forehead, 3 scratches just start appearing right across his forehead. I'm like, this is insane. This is crazy. I said, that's it. We're getting you out of here. So we packed up everything. We got him out of there. We got out of there. And the next morning we were leaving to come back. And his wife says, you have to see this. You have to come in and see this. And I look down at Tony comes down the stairs. I look at his leg, and there was this huge bruise. Now, this happened overnight, okay, because he was wearing shorts. And trust me, it would have been noticeable. But there was this huge bruise right below his calf muscle, and there was 3 deep scratches where something It looked like something was holding him at the basement door, and when he walked away, it scratched him. It was just horrible looking. So that place is it's the pit of hell. It's awful.
So what do you think when people start getting scratched and bruised? What do you think this is?
It could be, that's where people say it may be demonic. I don't know. That's out of my area. It could be a way of them expressing jealousy or just trying to do some kind of violence to scare them out again. For some reason, maybe they didn't like Deb and Tony, or maybe they liked them too much.
Yeah.
And they were, the jealousy was in there. Maybe this female ghost was jealous and wanted Tony for herself, or there could have been. There's so many different ways you can play that out. But it was still eerie, very, very scary.
Have you got any comments on this, Neil?
Could be
as
different
a medium?
things.
I'll ask Neil as a medium. What's your comments on these scratches and bruises? And...
Well, as you know, I've got a lot of experience in that stuff.
Yes.
And it's true what Todd just said there. You can get certain aspects where an entity can be either overprotective or the sentiments can run quite deep towards a person, but they will inflict harm on them. It's a bit like jealousy. I want him for myself, or and it can get to that point where they will inflict harm on that person. But like I said, there's lots of aspects that you can look at. It could be something dangerous that wants to cause harm. It could be an aspect where the entity is that desperate to make contact that it's unsure that it's actually hurting that person.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things to think about.
Right, I see. So there you go. There's a little bit of a explanation for you, Todd.
I like that. Good explanation.
So, well, what we're going to do, we're going to have just a bit of a break, if that's all right. I'm going to need to turn you down while I play this segment, okay? And
absolutely.
Give you a time to go and get a drink or something. So we'll speak to you in a moment, okay?
Fantastic.
Right, guys, we're going to take a break. I need to play this, okay? And we'll see you after these words.
And now, here's a word from our sponsor.
Finally, the #1 weight loss and fitness challenge in North America is coming to the UK. Don't miss your chance to be the first Brits to be a part of it. Be honest, right now you probably want to lose some weight, live a healthier, more active lifestyle, or get in better shape. We're here to challenge you to make your health a priority with the new Body by Vi 90-day challenge.
My favorite thing about the challenge was just losing the weight. Got my life back, that's it.
Now we've gone from being couch potatoes to being, fit athletes, working out, strength training every single day. It's changed our whole lifestyle.
Let's be real. You don't have to look far to see we have a problem. A growing problem. With today's work demands and faster-paced lifestyle driving us toward quick fixes, it's no secret how we got here. Finally, something that's simple, affordable, fun, tastes amazing, and most importantly, it works. The Body by Vi Challenge is the solution you've been searching for. The challenge is North America's #1 90-day platform for weight loss and fitness results. To date, over 500 million Vi shakes have been served to millions of people who have already lost millions of pounds, making the challenge the fastest growing weight loss and fitness movement in North America today. Powered by a line of innovative wellness products from Vi, the Body by Vi Challenge is coming to the UK. The perfect way to start a lasting health transformation. And by simply selecting a kit, you have access to all the resources you need to succeed. So, set your goal, select your kit, enter to win. Be the first in the UK to be on the challenge. There is no better time than now to start making your health a priority. So why not start losing weight, getting fit, saving money, and having fun? Guaranteed. Are you up for the new Body by Vi Challenge?
The one phone call that I made to try to join the challenge to lose weight has changed every aspect of our life.
Yeah, welcome back. We're here with medium Neil Munnerley, my better half over the way there, Steve Taggart.
Hiya.
And on Skype we have a very good friend and also EVP research expert, as well as host of a program that used to be on, or I assume it's used to be, maybe still on, in America, called Haunted Voices. Todd, are you still with us?
I'm still with you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we've been talking about the EVP side and everything, and stuff. Now, one thing I do want to ask you is, you've been on and hosted many radio shows. Was this a career choice or just something you wanted to do?
Oh boy. Yeah, it started out as a hobby.
I know what that feels like.
Right. It started out as a hobby, and then I have a very addictive personality. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm not ashamed of that. And I became completely engulfed in Haunted Voices, everything that it was. It started out as a hobby, and I wanted more. And then when I got more, I wanted more. And it became too much. Too much to handle. You know, going from 1 day a week to 7 days a week, no. It was just, no. So what that did, and I want to kind of get into the repercussions of that for anybody that has a radio program out there, because they're a lot easier to get now than what they were in the past.
Yeah.
A lot easier to get on there and grab these things. You know, as far as booking guests, getting guests, doing this, the technical setup, trying to do all this from one area takes a lot of your time.
Oh, it does. Now, it does. We only do 1 day a week. And that's enough.
Because what happens is, you know, when you do these every day of the week, you become numb. You start taking them for granted. You know, the show itself, I actually, and people still don't believe me to this day, I do not broadcast anymore. I stopped doing that back in November of last year. I ended Haunted Voices the same day that it began. And, you know, the name is there, Haunted Voices. That's always going to be there.
Yeah.
But the radio network, no. Now, that got me into a very, very dark place in my life. That was one of the catalysts that brought me to it. Having it, I did it out of my home for a very, very long time, moved to a public location, and that's when things started to go downhill. The stress, you know, I lost my family. I lost my everything.
Wow.
Everything. I found myself alone and isolated, and all I had was that radio show. That's it. That was my only communication with anyone. And that's when the drinking picked up really, really bad, really bad. And it got worse and worse. And then I hit my rock bottom, which most people, it takes some time. I hit my rock bottom, literally. Broke my own nose, passed out right there live. The last show that I did before I went into treatment was horrible. And thank God that not that many people heard it. I was at my worst. I was drunk. I was out of there. It was terrible. So I went to treatment. I was gone for a few months, and I came out a completely different person, completely different. And, waited a little while. I couldn't, and I still can't. I can't have a lot of communication with the paranormal community because I know that's going to draw me back in. It's not that I'm being snobby or anything. It's I have to distance myself from something that will put me right back where I was.
Yeah.
So I tried. After a few months, I tried. It was in May of 2011, I think. I tried jumping back in, doing radio again. And it was going great at first. I'm like, oh, I can handle this 1 day a week. When I'm done, I'm done. And it was going really, really well. And then toward the fall, September, October area of last year, I began to feel, I felt this once before. And I started to distance myself. And then that's when I decided, okay, it's not that important. I need to drop this, or I'm going to go right back where I was. So that's why I stopped broadcasting, because I started becoming obsessed with it again. All of my past feelings were coming back. It was going to be a complete mess. It was going to be a train wreck. And this time, instead of going to treatment, they put me in a coffin. It was that simple. So just
have
a
you
sacrifice.
turned your speakers back up again, Todd?
No.
Oh, right. Okay, because I can still hear, for some reason,
Actually,
an echo for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't either. I actually have headphones
weird.
in now.
Oh, well, never mind. So, yeah, some of them in the chat room are hearing the echoing as well for some reason, and I've not changed anything, so I don't know what's going on. I'm having one of them nights, I think.
Oh, it happens.
It sounds all right when you're talking. It's just me.
Well, the feedback, yeah, that's one of the tricks that I used. I don't know if you guys are wearing headphones or not, but that's what I used to do to kill a lot of that.
Yeah, we we don't wear the headphones. It's so we can hear you properly. But anyway, so you've stopped doing the radio shows now. I didn't realise it got that bad for you.
Yeah, it did. A lot of people did, and I went public with it. The final show that I did back in November, you could still go to hauntedvoices.com and hear it. You can hear all the archives. They're still there. The final show I did, it's about 4 hours long. It was just one of those shows. You know how it goes. It was one of those where I explained everything and answered all questions that came in. I was the biggest liar, and I mean that's what an alcoholic does. They learn to manipulate people. It was terrible. It was terrible. I wasn't happy with what I'd become, and then I saw myself becoming that again, knew the signs, and pulled out of it. Now, am I done with radio forever? No, it's in my blood. It's something that I fight every day. But it has to be something that I can control a little better. Will I go back to doing paranormal talk? I don't know. Will it be some kind of talk? Yes. I mean, I'm already working on something that's not necessarily paranormal related. It can be, but it's something that I guess will fill that little void and maybe help a few people along the way. It's just something that I have to work out. I'm in this weird transition in between that. I miss it terribly. I miss the audience. I miss all the people. I miss the communication. I miss the satisfaction you get from a good show.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, I'm grateful that you've come on our show and talked to us. But as I say, because you're saying you've stayed away from it for a while, so I'm really glad that you've come to us. And prepared to talk to us about things.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to ask, do you still get time to investigate? Or do you stop that?
I haven't stopped it. Do I go as often as I want? No. There's a lot of personal ones I'll do. They're not clients or anything of that nature. There are spots around here that I will go to alone. And just kind of, one of them is the old schoolhouse. It's one of my favorites. That's where a lot of the knowledge came from, the experience, the research. That's where a lot of it came from, was a little schoolhouse. That's kind of what started all of it. But as far as getting out there in the client world, or, the going in with doing the tours again down at the theater, sure, I've been asked. And I don't feel I'm ready for that. And until I'm mentally ready for something like that, it's best that I don't go.
Yeah.
It's because you have to go in there with an open mind. You can't just show up. Hi, I'm here. Okay, let's go.
Well, it looks like you've got two people in the chat room that are waiting for you to come back. That's Todd from Ghost Girls, and also Cheeky, your friend. So, and obviously myself, I miss the old shows as well. So, but as I say, the one thing I did want to ask you is what's it like in, as you know, we're trying to keep the paranormal friendly, not just here but all around the world, obviously, because the internet goes everywhere, and if people want to listen to what we've got to say and try and make a better place, what's it like in America for this sort of thing? Do you know?
What is the what again?
What is it like for trying to keep them paranormal friendly in America? You know, as you know, our campaign is to do that. You know, but as I say, what's it like in America? Is it still dog eat dog out there for that sort of thing?
It's terrible.
Is it?
I'd like to say that over the years it's became better. It's a vicious community. I mean, it used to be a beautiful community. It really did.
Yeah.
Everybody worked together. There was teamwork. There was just so much unity. Now it's everybody's quest to get the next television show. That's all they care about. Or, hey, I'm going to get this because John Doe used it on this show, so I know it's going to work because he captured 20,000 EVP in 3 hours. Come on. They're a lot of it is a young crowd. New researchers, I have nothing against them whatsoever. The problem is a lot of the veteran researchers will not take them under their wing over here. Yeah. They want them to go out and screw up on their own. And that's bad. That's bad. You know, old school needs to teach new school.
Yeah.
So yes, it's very competitive over here. There's people displaying evidence that's not evidence at all. It's what they feel they have to get up there as filler to get some kind to fit in maybe. People, a lot of them aren't taking the time, and this is just what I'm going by and reading and seeing. You know, over the years too, I've seen it decline. But the community is there, and it's a good community if everyone works together to use it. You know, that's the problem. They're not using the resources that are right in front of them. If somebody gets this piece of equipment, well, the next group has to get that same equipment yet bigger and better. And you can't have that. You know, I mean, the problem is, and it's such a simple thing, if everyone would just get together, give it 2 hours, everybody works together for 2 hours, you would be amazed at how much is discovered. Because we're not learning from other people's mistakes. Because they're not telling them. Because, well, no one makes mistakes, see. And that's one of the biggest problems. And hopefully, over time, it thins out a little bit. But right now, it's saturated. Media is everywhere. Shows are everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're making us all look like morons over here.
I must admit, you know, there's a lot of provoking and goading going on in the programs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that does set a bad example for some of the teams, you know, and the groups that are around. Like Cheeky said, that they're following what they do on the TV shows, which is sad to see. Todd from Ghost Girls, he was saying that there's a bunch of paranormal groups who are only interested in harassing groups.
Correct.
We used to hear a lot of that over here, where people used to say to us, "Oh, we've had injunctions, put in injunctions. People have been around our door, causing problems and fighting with us, and it's ridiculous. I just can't believe some of the stories out there. I really can't."
It is. It's humiliating.
Yeah.
It's sad to see such great people. There are so many great people in this field. There really is. But a lot of them, myself included, sitting back, waiting for this to end. It's another phase. You know, I've seen this before. Of course, it wasn't as bad. I've seen it before. And it did taper off after a while. But you get, I hate keep going back to these television shows, but that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Is these television shows, they're role models, and people don't believe that. They do believe that. They see it done on television, and they cannot separate reality from entertainment. So they go out and they try to do that same thing. You know, and don't get me wrong, there are some good documentary type shows, okay, that are great. But these ones that are running around screaming and I'm not going in there, it's haunted. Well, then why the hell are you here? You know, they don't understand that. And, you know, the provoking, It's all one giant commercial is what people don't see. It's a huge commercial. They're selling products. They're, use this equipment, use this, use this, do things this way. It's there to entertain you. If they showed what a real investigation was all about, people would shut the television off, because you know as well as I do how boring it can be. You're sitting there for hours doing nothing.
This is it. It's like G.G. Todd said, that the TV shows are they're also misrepresenting what really goes on. Like you say, we get a lot of people that say, "Oh, I've seen Most Haunted, or I've seen Ghost Adventures, blah 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 blah." All these popular shows, and they don't realise. And then sometimes, if they've never been on one before, they feel as though it's a boring night. Even though they've done the experiments, they've got a little bit, of the night, but it's not all bumps and bangs, and that's what we need to express to them.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Neil? I know it's not just paranormal groups, is it? It's mediums as well.
Mediums as well. I mean, the amount of mediums that have sort of popped up in the last 10 years is enormous. Everybody's calling himself a medium nowadays. And
yeah, you should see it on Facebook.
It's so true, Todd. To be honest, it's none of them have had any formal training whatsoever, and they think that they can call themselves a medium just because, I don't know, maybe they've heard a voice one night, or they've seen something one night. All of a sudden they're a medium. They're charging people money for the service, and it's a really bad thing to watch. And I've been in this
prices.
Well, I've been in this game. I mean, professionally, I've been in it, 25, 26 years now, as a professional medium. But I've been sort of paranormal, involved in paranormal for 40 years now, and it's a shame to see it, go downhill so very quick, especially in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's just gone crazy.
Well, you started seeing when you were 4, didn't you?
I started seeing when I was 4, and my
obviously
grandmother was a medium, and she took me under her wing, and it all started from there for me. But
but you get these people that have been in the business for about 5
I
minutes.
Yeah, I had proper training. I couldn't go as a professional medium until I knew I had the full training, and I was ready for that. And to give people advice, you do need that training. You can't just tell people or give people advice without that sort of qualification from a very good reputable teacher.
And the good thing about Neil, he's not money orientated either, which is good. Not like some people, So that's the best thing when it comes to mediums, if they're doing the job right and they're not interested in money all the time. So wouldn't you agree, Todd?
Very well said. I have to hats off to you.
Yeah.
And you are right. There are so many out there claiming this and charging for it. And I would not want to be in your shoes for a second, because these people, I have interviewed, I don't know how many psychics in the past, and there have been some fantastic ones, and there have been ones where, what would you do? Fire up Google?
Yeah, this is it.
And it's so hard. And you could tell that there's no talent, there's no training there. They're just babbling out the mouth, Yeah. They're sitting there, maybe they saw an old picture of you somewhere, and you have this and this and this come out. Yeah. And then you ask them a question that's personal related. They're,
this is it.
Yeah, I know that's not on Google, is it? They don't. But and that's, you could pick them out really good.
Yeah.
And it's the ones that I trust and the ones that I rely on are the ones that do not promote themselves. The ones that are not seen, that don't boast, that don't get on there and have all these huge lights around them, and I've done this and done this and done this. Those are the ones that I like to rely on, and that I'm going to trust over somebody that has been on 30,000 television shows and blah blah blah. Well, no.
This is it. Well, we've had another couple of people come into the chat room. Andy707, he's popped in again. He works late, so he comes in late, but I think he's getting the gist of what's going on. We've also got Para Explorer Matt. I think he's been listening in the wings. He said it's all very true. TV shows create unrealistic explanations. TV shows are made to entertain and sell ad time, no sell realism. Unfortunately, they sell unrealistic expectations in clients too. And Todd from Ghost Girls also said that it's reprehensible that there are fakes telling people what to do. Andy says hello to Todd. And he said he's actually spoken to you before.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably spoken to you before on your own show.
Yeah, Andy, I don't know his last name. There's a lot of Andys out there.
Andy Mercer, his name is.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. I take it you know him.
It's been a long time.
It has. All these ghosts coming out of the woodwork for you, Todd.
That's fantastic. Yeah, Matt's in there. Schultz, he said Para-Explorer. That's probably Matt Schultz. Great guy. Great guy.
You know, Andy says Institute of Paranormal Research. So perhaps you remember that one. Yeah.
I sure do.
We've had Andy Mercer in the chat room and on the show before, so he's one of our regulars, even though he can't get in till late. So, you know, but he's been there for us for quite some time. But we do have quite a few followers. As I say, normally they listen to us on the replay, but we do get some people in the chat room that are there to ask questions and really get involved, because that's what it's all about. We try and get people to actually get involved in it. It's their show as well. So we'd like them to either phone up or ask questions to our guests, you know. So as I say, it's all good fun. I'm just trying to make it a little bit different, you know, to basically try and get people to be friendly with each other. As I say, I do my own paranormaleventsforyou.com, which we'll be doing the ads in a moment. That's a free site for people to advertise on. All we ask is that they don't put their prices on, but a link to their website, what I like to call collaboration, not competition. You know, so I'm just trying to make it a little bit better for everyone out there. And if I can do it for a little, you know, a few groups and get them on the show to produce, well, not produce, but to, you know, tell us a bit about their, you know, their group, what they do, and share their own information with others, then it's good. That's the way I look at it, you know.
I think it's fantastic. It is fantastic what you're doing. And, you know, if you help just one group, you've done your job.
Yeah, well, this is it. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not just making it for the UK. You know, we like to hear from the America and everywhere else, because people do it differently. It's like we do public events where we take, you know, there are companies, not-for-profit groups like ourselves, whereas, you know, we don't pay ourselves. We just do the investigation with them. And then you've got the groups that do charge prices because they pay their workers, sort of thing, you know, their team. But so there's a difference over here. But in America, I think there's not many that do that, and I think it's only just starting to catch on over there, where they're actually starting to invite the public and charge.
Yeah. Right, and that is a big controversy over here. Is the oh Lord, if you charge for an investigation or if you charge for something, you are immediately blacklisted. If you run a radio program and you don't you know, charge this or that or some subscription fee, you could be blacklisted. Well, you're not professional if you don't do that. No, I feel it's just the opposite. I mean,
yeah. Well, the only reason why we charge is because it helps to pay for the location. You know, that's the way we look at it, because we can't afford to pay for some of these locations over here.
Yeah, over here the locations tend to charge anywhere from £500 to £1,000 for one night.
Yeah. And if we can, like, you know, get enough people to at least pay for that, then we're happy. We're not bothered about making any profit on it at the moment. You know, we're not into that sort of thing. It's just all about doing the research and giving people a chance to, what I call, have a hands-on opportunity to see what paranormal investigating is all about.
Right. And if, you know, if there is good behind it, like what you're doing, if there is some kind of good behind it, you're not sitting there trying to make millions off of the dead. Okay, I mean, it's something that, and people don't understand the expense that it takes to run a program. Yeah. You know, it's very expensive to go live, especially. It can be.
You know, but as I say, I'm looking at the, as you know, we are a paranormal group as well. We run UK Shadow Seekers, and Neil is also part of that as well. And even though he does does help other groups out when they ask if if anyone wants, if he's free, he goes out and becomes a guest medium for other groups. But as I say, it's all swings and roundabouts. If you can help me, we can help you, and look at it that way. Ghost Girls Todd seems to be quite happy that I've said that it's their show, which it is, and without them we can't have a show. And he also says, and what they don't understand is, like you say, is the people on the TV make 6 figures for the show, per show. So much for we do this for free. They should be honest instead of lying.
Right.
Because I think they must. I assume they must say they do it for nothing.
Yeah, they do it for donations.
Yeah.
They do it for the equipment.
Well, this is it. So, but as I say, it's when you do this sort of thing for the paranormal community, it's got to be for them. Not for yourself. That's the way I look at it. This sort of doing a bit of a live chat show and trying to get people on to talk about their bits and pieces. You know what I mean? It's we're doing it for them. We're just trying to get a little, if, like I say, if we can get one person, that makes 2, and if they can spread the word, before you know it, I've got a community. We've got a forum. That's where it all started. So, but we do have American groups that do advertise their paranormal events on our paranormaleventsforyou.com. So, and I'm just trying to make a little bit of a nice place out there for everyone.
I think it's fantastic.
I
really do. It's fantastic. There's so many mistakes made in this field. And, Lord knows I have made a lot of mistakes, and I have a lot of regrets. I have wronged a lot of people over the years, a tremendous amount. That's something that I'm doing my best to correct.
Uh-huh.
I've made a lot of enemies, not intentionally, but it has happened. And that's the problem with this field is people, they don't forget. They will not forget that. They won't drop that and move on.
No.
You are tagged with that. I'm not saying to be crystal clean every time you do something. We're human. We're going to screw up.
Oh yeah.
But it's what you do after the screw up that matters. You have to learn from it. So it's great that you're doing this for the community. I applaud you for it, and I hope and pray that it's going to help it. I mean, it already is. You already have this group of people listening that are coming in, and they understand what you're trying to do. Now, hopefully that spreads like a virus throughout, because not only United Kingdom, America especially needs a wake-up call. We need to shake some of the drama and reality out of these people and say, hey, we're all here trying to achieve the same goal. Let's work as a team here. It's easier. 2 heads are better than one. It's a lot easier to do it that way. So hopefully people understand that and start to use it. If they really, truly are researchers and want answers, then that's what they're going to do. That's the only way we're going to solve anything, is by working together. That's it.
This is it. So, Todd, what's next for Todd Bates then? What's in the future?
Well, I've got about 3 years left of school. I'm in college. Believe it or not, 40 years old. Yeah, I'm a late bloomer. So it took a little while going for majoring in applied behavioral science, of all things, still psychology things. So there's some things in the works coming up here within the next couple years, if not sooner, if everything pans out. Because anybody that knows me knows that I like to work behind the scenes a lot. So I am working on something. It does involve radio, but not to the point where people think it's going to. So it's going to be a good mixture. So I am working on something, and hopefully that works out here. It shouldn't be a problem. And, mostly I'm concentrating on school and of course my family, making up a lot of lost time with them. I've been teaching lessons here and there on a very private basis, nothing explosive. And, they're EVP lessons, 101, 102. I do all those. If anybody's interested, you can contact me, email, Facebook, what have you. And also just trying to slowly get back out there, get back to my roots, and get back into a little research. I've been doing a lot of reading, trying to catch up on some of the new methods that are out there, new things that have came in. So I'm kind of catching up, and then I will get back out there. Speaking engagements, I've done a couple of those as well. You pop out, the conferences and things. I do those too on the side. So it's nothing really heavy. It's something that I'm keeping it to where I can manage. And I just don't get on there, and I don't advertise a lot. I don't put myself out there. People follow me on Facebook, and I don't put personal messages on there.
No.
I put funny stuff on there. That's, I don't really.
Well, you are a funny guy.
I don't really sit down and say, this is what I'm doing right now. It's something, because right now I have to have that kind of privacy.
Yeah.
Because I know as soon as I put something out there, boom, rumors are going to hit. There they go. It's on.
So
and
you said earlier if you can still hear your recorded shows on the website.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can go to hauntedvoices.com. It's still up. It's still active. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been updated for a while. No, I'm not jumping in there, but all of the archives are on there from 2010, 11, even the past classic shows. They're all on there. Just click on the on-demand button when you get to the website. You can also listen. The shows on there every Thursday night, Pop Odyssey Radio. That's why the player plays.
Yeah.
You can hear them. But the archives are up there. As far as articles and things, I've been writing a few of those and submitting them to newsletters here and there, getting those out there, and trying my best to keep up with people on the fan page, Facebook / Haunted Voices. There, the fan page. Trying my best to get in there and help out where I can with that. Get in there, answer some questions and things. So mainly, it's just keeping active that way right now.
Well,
but I do miss it.
Andy Mercer's just sent you a FB friend request, so you can look out for that.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, my love. Well, it's been great talking to you, Todd. It's been great catching up on old times as well.
Oh.
So, don't be a stranger, okay?
You either.
No, I won't be. Okay, well, you look after yourself. And keep us informed if you start doing anything, and then we can let everybody know.
I sure will. And anytime you want me on, you just ask. I'll be here for you.
Okay, darling. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys take care over there and keep up the great work.
Cheers. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers,
You
Todd.
too.
Bye-bye.
See you, Todd.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Well, that was Todd Bates, a really good guy. We've known him for quite some time. And he was very, when we knew him back then, he was very helpful. And again, he's still very helpful. So, so it was really great. I've got to give a shout out to Todd, who's in the Ghost Girls group. All right. So he said, please give me a shout in the girls group. I will do that. So I'm going to shout out to him as well and shout out onto his page. So that's not a problem. And we'll advertise when he's going to be on the show. I know Andy's going to also be on the show again sometime. He's got another topic to talk about in the near future. Para Explorer Matt, it's nice for you to pop in, and hopefully you'll pop in again and maybe come and join us on the show sometime and talk about a subject that you might be interested in, or even your group. You can tell us all about that. That's what it's all about here. That's what the KTPF is all about, keeping the paranormal friendly. And it doesn't have to be in the UK. It can be anywhere in the world. Isn't that right, Neil?
Certainly is.
We're just trying to make it a little bit easier, aren't we?
No, it's not just about easier.
Well, you know what I mean.
It's keeping it together, and there's enough out there for everyone. And like you say, the last 10 years, people have become so bitter towards each other. And it's not just in paranormal groups; it's mediums as well, and anybody who works in this kind of field. It's sort of dog eat dog, you know, and it shouldn't be like that. It's ridiculous.
Yes, you need to get that mic nearer to your mouth. Well, what we're going to do is...
Put it to your chin, not on.
Do I need to put it in my mouth?
No.
You know, if you get any
to your
closer...
chin. There. Yes. So, you're not projecting enough, young man. You need to be able to project. I can talk. People keep saying to me, you're not loud enough. I don't know. Well, we're going to have another break, and then, as I say, Neil's here. Neil's a medium. He's also part of UK Shadow Seekers. And if you have any questions about mediums or anything like that, the forum's open. What's this, Sue? Would you consider doing more than one show a week?
No,
Andy, no. We are going to be doing the occasional Sunday, but not one show a week. So talk about the haunted Queen Mary and Whaley House here in US. You can do that, Matt. If you want to do that, you can definitely do that. So that would be great. We can sort out a date for you to come on and talk about what you do. Okay. So we're just going to have a quick break anyway, and I'm going to do the paranormal events for you. So I'll see you in a bit.
We've got all the news right here. Don't go away.
Fed up of wading through the activities and events that other advertisers include? Find just what you're looking for at paranormaleventsforyou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory.
On the weekend of the 13th and 14th, there's the MBS, that's Mind, Body and Spirit show at the Monastery in Gorton. And on the 19th, there's a monthly psychic one-to-one readings now available in the Manchester area with medium Neil Munnerley plus tarot and psychometry readings with intuitive clairvoyant Suzanne Lilly. On the 18th of May, Haunted Places Paranormal after Hayes Library, Bromley, Hayes in Kent. On the 25th of May, Club Zero are going to Mill Street Barracks in St Helens. On the weekend of the 1st of June, there's a Mind, Body and Spirit Fair at the new Epic Centre, Lincolnshire Showground, Grange de Lings in Lincoln. On the 7th of June, Twilight Paranormal are going to Dolby House, Ilkeston in Derbyshire. On the 7th of June, UK Shadow Seekers, in conjunction with Simply Ghost Nights, are going to Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. On the 15th of June, Haunted Places Paranormal are doing the Canterbury Tales at St Margaret Street in Canterbury. On the 22nd of June, UK Shadow Seekers are going somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
So check out the one-stop paranormal directory for more investigations and events available now. Paranormaleventsforyou.com also offers banner advertising for only £10 per year. See our website for more details. Paranormaleventsforyou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory.
You're in the right place. Online, on the web, and on air. All over the world.
Talk Radio.
Yeah, welcome back. Middle of nowhere? Is that what you're asking about? Middle of nowhere is up in the North Yorkshire Three Peaks district.
It is. We can't give you the exact place. Obviously, if you've booked on it, we'll let you know where it is just before, because
it's not a normal investigation place.
No, they don't particularly want it out there that much, because it's still being used.
We're staying there, and we're inviting people to come and join us on Saturday night to do something, and nobody be disturbing us. So as I say, Neil.
Hi.
Hi. That was a nice conversation with Todd, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
You know, and as I say, Para Explorer Matt said hopefully he's going to sort out a date in May that he can come on and talk about the Queen Mary and Whaley House.
Okay.
So that Queen Mary, is that the one that we've seen before?
That's the one
that video that we played a few years ago. I can't tell you where. It's in the Free Peaks district. It's up near Carnforth.
Yeah.
In a field.
Yeah.
Pretty famous. What is?
Up in Yorkshire.
Up in Yorkshire. Yeah, so, yeah, I remember that. There was we played a thing, didn't we? A video where there was somebody walking through the, what's the name?
Yeah, it's...
Speak in the mic, Steve, I've just been told.
So you're doing it now?
It's supposed to have been done when the guy just left the camera running.
Yeah.
And went out for a cigarette outside. A little bit of controversy on it. I know the guys from Fact or Fake tried to reproduce it.
Did they?
They did.
Ah.
They didn't. They got close.
Yeah.
But they couldn't reproduce it.
Well, Andy, you'll have to come up and stay here and then go on one of our investigations, wouldn't you? Queen Mary is very famous. I've heard about that. So, yes, it is very famous, isn't it? So, hopefully, Power Explorer Matt will come on and do
it was very famous before it ended up in America. I believe it's a floating hotel now.
Oh, right. So...
I may be wrong, but...
So, I see. Now, Neil, going back to some of the things that Todd said about these hauntings, scratches and bruises and stuff. Can you tell us again why you think this happens, this sort of thing?
There's lots and lots of reasons, and there's lots of reasons why entities or ghosts, whatever you want to call them, do these things to us. You know, it could be a case of a jealousy, like Todd said.
Yeah.
It could be a case of just, you know, they want you out of the house, out of their space. Sometimes what happens is they can go over the top when they're trying to make contact. So, so basically, they'll get very desperate to make contact. Because what people don't realise is spirit are very intriguing, exactly the same as we are. They want to know what we're doing just as much as we want to know what they're doing there. You know, so sometimes they can go over the top and they will hurt people, but they don't mean it. They don't realise that they're doing these things.
No, we remember we had something on the observations a few months ago, wasn't it, Steve? There was a woman. Every time she got a boyfriend, she'd lost her boyfriend apparently, and every time she got a new boyfriend, something would happen. One of them went out screaming or something. It was I know, but they actually mentioned it in the news that he was that scared that he just left. He didn't want to know, and they were and she felt as though because she'd actually turned around and said, you may have remembered me mentioning it, but because she remembers saying to him that she would always love him and she'd always be with him forever and whatever, and he'd said the same as her, it seemed to have happened after he died, that he was keeping his promise, that he would be with her forever. Yeah. You know, so it can happen. Oh, yeah. If people have got that strong will when they die, it can happen that they can come back. Yeah. You know, so, and if you're interested in anything like that, we did do a show a couple of weeks ago with a young lady who talked about the dying visions of the departing, didn't she? And that was quite interesting. You'll find it all on our website or even at the YouTube with all the rest of the replays that we've done over the past year. I think we've got another question in there for Neil, haven't we?
We do indeed. Andy says, have you ever doubted yourself? A moment like mine, questioning everything.
I doubt myself all the time. You've got to. You've got to have that small amount of doubt in you, and you've got to question yourself. You know, it's part of the process of learning. It's part of the process of knowing where the answers are coming from. Who you're talking to, you know, am I talking to myself? Am I schizophrenic? You know, these are things that you've got to put into question. Yeah, I've doubted myself through the years.
But doubted enough to think maybe no.
I would never ever doubt myself enough to take me away from this field, because I know from the moment of realization back to when I was 4 years old that this was meant to be. This is a gift that I need to use in the proper manner and do the things that I do.
Yeah, I think Bidreg would give you a slap.
I don't think he'd rip my contract up just yet, put it that way.
Todd from Ghost Girls, he's asking, have you ever been on an investigation and had your cage rattled by something? Now, we're talking American here, so it's a good phrase to have that one.
I did a period of around 4 to 5 years of exorcism work, as you know, and we've spoken about this in the past on past programs. But part of that process is they will try and rattle your cage.
Yeah.
I've never been in a predicament where I've been scared, but you have got to put yourself through that wary side. You have got to be wary of things, and you've got to be quite open-minded as well. You can't just walk in, with 100% determination. You've got to have that openness first, because you've got to find out what you're dealing with. And until you know what you're dealing with, you can't take that process of either clearing or getting rid, until you know what that is and what's going on.
But actually, on a paranormal investigation,
never been rattled.
Never been rattled.
No, I don't scare you. I've been seeing these things since I was 4, and even when I was 4 years old, I wasn't scared. I was sort of quite comfortable with it, as if it was meant to be, as if I knew what I was doing at that age.
Yep. Andy707 says, a friend has a theory, that all of us psychics have some strange brain wiring and are prone to emotional issues. Now, I've heard this recently.
Wrong.
So I've heard something about the wiring and some people's brains wired up wrong. What do you think to this?
We don't know the answers to everything. We don't. And it's like I said, literally 2 minutes ago, I could be schizophrenic. I could be talking to myself. I could be talking to my alter ego. We don't know the answers to everything. All I know is that the things that I've seen are very, very real. Because there's been other people around me as well that have seen the same thing. So that for me is real. Stuff that I've done, people have witnessed. So the stuff that you're doing is for real. It's not a joke. It's not something that's in your mind. You're not seeing things.
Would you say that some people do have, most people do have a bit of schizophrenia in them? For instance, a mild case. Say for instance yourself, Neil Munnerley, the psychic medium. Neil Munnerley, the father. Neil Munnerley, the security CEO or whatever. Yeah. Neil Munnerley, something else. They're 4 different people with the same name.
I go through.
When you say that's
my
a bit
day,
like
my day would consist of father first thing in the morning, then company director during the day, father in the evening, medium in the evening, or paranormal investigator or psychic counsellor, or so there's many hats that I've got to wear.
Is that not a schizophrenia? Because you have to put a different persona on, don't you?
It's got nothing to do with schizophrenia. Thank you very much. I'm not going on the tablets, and I'm not going to see a counsellor.
We just know you're a little bit nuts.
It's a different persona, isn't it?
How many people? I will tell you this now. I know that everybody, and I mean everybody, and nobody can deny this, but everybody speaks to themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
When now, you answer yourself, you've got a problem.
If you want to class that as schizophrenia, it's not. It's not in that same classification. No. That would be ridiculous.
Right, I got a couple of things here. But first of all, I'll do the statement and then the question. Gigi says, if you can control your gift, that's proof you're not schizophrenic, as they can't turn it off. And also, she said, did your family support you at a young age with your gifts?
That was a he, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's just
Tracy Todd has gone.
Yeah, I mean, I was very fortunate that my grandmother was a medium at the time, and she took me under her wing. She knew exactly what was happening. She knew exactly what to do. And I've had some great teachers along the way. So yeah, I mean, I was fortunate, but not everybody's fortunate enough to go through that process. And it's a shame, really.
We've just been stood corrected, or rather seated. Tracy's a girl as well, so.
I did have a feeling every time you say it's not Todd, they like Todd though.
No, Ghost Girls Todd. Todd actually runs the group called Ghost Girls.
But obviously that tells you something. Ghost Girls, maybe that's a.
Yeah, but Tracy's a man as well.
Tracy's a man as well.
Okay, so we've got bits of schizophrenia going on in the studio.
No, it's a name now for men, isn't it? It's like Tracy Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's a singer, isn't it? Tracy Lawrence, I'm sure that is an American singer.
Can't remember.
Tracy somebody. But yeah, country western singer, I think it was. Dick Tracy. No. Andy says, when all have more than one person, we all have more than one personality. Remember, psychotherapist here, as in Andy. It would be an issue if you didn't talk to yourself. It would be an issue if you didn't talk to yourself.
Well, it would be, yeah. I mean, I talk to myself every morning, It's a good thing sometimes.
He says it's only when the parts of personality get separated off from the self that there are real problems, which sounds feasible. Yeah. So, well, as you can see, Todd, we have fun here.
I mean, I talk to myself in the mirror every morning, which is a ritual I've done for many, many years.
Yeah, you're boosting yourself up for the day, though, aren't you? Look, I feel good.
Yeah, there's that part, yeah, but it does give your ego a little bit of a boost. It does set you up for the day.
Yeah.
And you're actually talking to yourself as you. You're not talking to yourself as somebody else.
No.
But it's when your reflection in the mirror actually turns around and tells you what to do.
That's what
I'm
saying.
When you've got a problem.
What would you do if that happened?
That's when the problem starts.
So, but if you've just joined us tonight, as I say, we do have a really good night. We have a bit of fun. We have a bit of information and that. So it's not a strict regime or anything like that.
No, we're never strict.
So, JW said, that's true, Jim. Neil.
That's true, Jim. There's Klingons on the starboard bow.
There is.
Jim.
So, but I don't know. So, is there any more questions for Neil before we?
Yeah, let's have an open forum. So, any questions that you've got on a mediumistic or paranormal subject?
This is what he's here for.
I'll try and answer the best as I can.
Yeah, so, and even if you want to speak to him personally, you can always...
Call now.
Yeah, a little bit delayed that was, wasn't it? Yeah.
You better put the number up, Susie.
Yep, it should be running on the screen.
Nothing's running at the moment.
Oh, that's not unusual. So...
And Ghost Rider's effectively spending on
Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do want to contact us, you can contact us on Skype at ktpf.paranormalshow or call 0844 414 3982. So we're here to take your call, here to listen. Do you find...
That would be at the gym, Andy.
Right, Todd said, I think I can say Todd now because I think the other Todd's gone, Todd Bates. Do you find if there's more than one psychic working with you, Neil, is the energy or power stronger?
Good question. It can go either way. I've worked with some other mediums and psychics in the past where they've been quite deflated by the sort of persona that I bring. Because when I work in a mediumistic way, I work with everything. I put 100% effort into it, and that's what I bring with me. My guide's very, very sort of a very strong guide, so he brings his energy as well. And sometimes there's been a case where some psychics or mediums have felt a little bit overwhelmed by that, and have been sort of deflated, and they sort of turn against you. So they work in a negative way towards you, and you've seen that yourself, so it can work that way. But I've been on.
But I think that's more of a competition-wise as well.
It can be, yeah. But that's up to them if they want to work that way. But yeah, I have worked on a couple of things in the past where there's been 2 or 3 of us working in a mediumistic way together and combining our energies to get the job done. So yeah, it can work both ways.
Yeah. No, the bit I was on about is that incident you was talking about the fact that it can work against you. That's if somebody wants to be the top dog in the matter, which we've had that instance where we had somebody who was a guest on one of our investigations. And when I say guest, who was part of the public, and felt as though they were better than you, basically. It didn't work.
No, it didn't work, did it?
No. So because the things they were coming out with wasn't actually in that area at all.
Not at all.
At that location.
Not at all.
So that's the sort of thing I meant. So, God, Andy wants to know what your company's called.
Which one?
It's called Psychic Medium Neil Munnerley.
Yeah, Neil Munnerley, psychicmedium.com.
NeilMunnerley.com. No, .co.uk is now.
Oh.
I know. I kept
.co.uk then.
Yeah. Todd comes back and said, "Do you get a feeling if there's another psychic medium
Yes.
near you?"
Yes, all the time.
You read that. You can see their auras. Can't
I can
you?
see people's auras, and that's something that never goes. I can see
Yeah.
that's 24 hours a day, which is a great gift. And I've used it in the past where I can tell when people are lying, and which is it's really good.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I can see auras all the time, so you tend to know. But you can feel energy levels as well, and you sort of also get the gut feeling that someone is around who's sensitive or gifted in that way.
Right. Okay. Definitely.
Yeah, and Andy said it was the security company we were talking about, but Todd said, do you acknowledge each other with a nod or a smile?
Yes.
I do. But when some people meet me, they grunt sometimes. Mentioning no names, but yeah.
Well, we've had a few of them. Well, a couple. So,
Yeah.
But Andy wants to know what your security company is called. So.
Well, he can keep asking because I can't say. No.
It's a secret security.
Well, it's not about secretive. We deal with a lot of. It's not a company that's open to the public.
Right.
We deal a lot with ex-forces and things like that. So.
In other words, Andy, if
we
he told
don't
you,
advertise.
he'd have to kill you.
Yeah.
We don't advertise. We don't have a website. Recruitment's within the MOD.
Yeah.
So.
There you go, Andy.
My mouth's shut, I'm afraid. So.
He said he might want to hire you.
I don't come cheap, in that game.
JW says SAS. He said, "Is it the SAS?"
No, he's not still in the forces.
No, you're not still in the
And
forces.
if he was in the SAS, he couldn't tell you anyway.
No.
That was a ridiculous question, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, anybody in the SAS, they're not allowed to.
Yeah,
know, are they?
we've got it.
The
silly ass service.
That's about right. Yeah. That'll do.
I think that's what we are. They're not the BBC.
Yeah. I used to be with the Ministry
SAS.
of Silly Walks. But
I think that's what we are, isn't it? We're not the BBC. We're the SAS, silly ass service. I'm bringing you.
Anyway, quickly combing over that subject.
I tell you, it's crazy here.
Should we get back to mediumship?
Go on
or
then.
Whatever you want to do.
Right. So basically, obviously, when we're on investigations, how do you detect whether there is anything there? When you go in, can you see like ghosts going?
Well,
what's the first thing you look for?
Yeah.
In the
What's
venue?
the first thing you look for?
Okay. Because I was raised the way I was raised from a very early age, I have every single gift intact, so I can use any gift. I can use vision, hearing, sensing. So I've got all the gifts in sight, so I can see, I can hear, I can feel. All my senses have been upgraded, whatever you want to call it, enhanced. In a spiritual way. So usually the first thing when I walk into a room, I'll either pick up a sense that something's there, or I will see. And they're the usual sort of two ways that I'll go along with that. So if I sense something, then the next step is obviously to try and get in contact and try and find out what that is in that room.
Right. Okay. Todd said, "Are they amazed when they realise you can see them, Neil?"
No, it's not. It's not about being amazed. It's a good feeling sometimes. Well, depending on the type of entity. If it's a bad one, then obviously they'll fight with you or do a runner or they'll hide or whatever. But when you sort of make contact with a good a good entity, shall we say? No, it's not.
Yeah, that's what you're on about, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good feeling because you then it's almost like your energies join, and then that's when the contact takes place. So it's a bit like old friends meeting. You know, when you meet an old friend that you haven't seen for years, it's the same sort of feeling as that.
Our Tigger said the first thing he looks for when he walks into a room is a light switch.
Right. I mean, there's a lot being said about when you're sensitive, stroke psychic, stroke medium, you give off like a light, a beacon to the spirit world.
Okay.
Is this something that you would say was right?
That comes from, and I don't want to sort of slate it too much, but that comes from the spiritualist churches. That they believe we have this beacon that lights up, that, you know, we like this great big beam that comes from our heads, and the spirits know that we're there because we target this beam. And so, look, but it's not quite like that. We do go off quite a high.
I'm glad to hear it.
We do give off quite a high sort of energy source in the spiritual way. But you've got to remember that it's not just us giving that energy off. It's spirit as well, you know, because you're working 50-50 with spirit, you know. So it's the energy that joins, you know, between you and your guide, or between you and whoever you're working with. It's sort of that's sort of molded over time, you know, and that's the energy and the type of energy source that's pumped out there. It's not about a beacon. It's not about, you know, this beam of light coming from the top of your head or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually told once, and I can't remember who by, but they said you put this beam of light up yourself and up to heaven, for the want of another word, to actually make contact. Is this a way you would say it? Considering what you just said.
What is heaven? I mean, I don't know what heaven is, because I don't believe in heaven.
The spiritual
I don't believe
realm.
in hell. I don't believe I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe in religion. I'm not religious, obviously. But when we talk about heaven, obviously we mean the spirit world.
Yeah.
No, the spirit world overlaps our own. So we're not actually looking up into a place that's in the sky, as some people, you know,
looking next to us.
we're actually overlapped by the spirit world. So each separate spirit plane, as we call them, or spirit level, are overlapping each other, but they're slightly behind timing. It's an intricate thing to talk about, and I don't want to go into it too much detail. But each spiritual level is slightly behind the other. So they sort of miss each other by the timing, and it's only when that timing slows down that they enter our realm or our plane.
Right. So, would you say these planes are of a spiritual energy nature or time?
Bit of both. I mean, time.
I mean, but what I mean that when I asked you about is we'll go into a building and we'll sense two different spirits from two different timelines, and they don't actually know that the other one's there.
Yeah.
Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah. If you've got one spirit from one realm and another spirit from another realm, they would completely ignore each other because they wouldn't know each other's there, because they're sort of existing on different times. And when we talk about time, it's very, very minute time. I'm talking 0.0000000 of a second. You know, it's faster than the speed of light, maybe. I don't know, but it's very, very minute time. But it's just enough time for them not to actually exist in the same plane. Sometimes, if you want to make this a little bit more complicated,
go on then.
Sometimes you'll get two spirits from different eras living from the same plane. That would be in the same room. So you could have a spirit from the 1800s, and you could have a spirit from the 1900s who passed away in the same building that occupy the same room.
And not know they're there.
But they wouldn't know that they're there, because obviously they live there. But they're coexisting.
Yeah.
So, you know, depending on how they coexist. You know.
Right. Andy would like to know.
Yes.
He said, there's a lot about Neil that you keep secret.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Very secretive.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the question there.
How do you feel about the fact that you have to keep a lot of stuff secret?
I'm used to it by now. I've done it for so many years that you just get used to it.
Personally, and
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can't talk about because my guide restricts me. And you know, I have to stick to certain rules and laws and things like that. There's a lot of my personal life that I can't talk about, obviously, because there's certain contracts that I've signed that I can't talk about freely.
Like that Official Secrets Act.
Yes. So it's just one of them things, you know, and you live with it. So.
Yeah. Todd has said we don't hear about ghosts usually from back from the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
I think he means in America.
Yeah.
What's the furthest time period you've experienced?
Oh wow.
Now, before you answer that, there is a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Take, for instance, the Loch Ness monster theory.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a theory of late that is actually or was actually a ghost of a creature from way back when, and it's a theory that after a while, the stone tape theory.
Yeah.
Like the recording wears out and dies off.
Okay.
Now, this is why they say you don't see a spirit of a caveman.
Right.
Because if he was a ghost years ago,
right.
After all these years, the recording's worn out, sort of thing.
And before you answer, Andy's just said he's met a chap from the Iron Age.
Right. Okay. So what's your?
There's lots and lots of theories that people come out with.
Yeah.
You know, one of them, I've got a couple of theories. I mean, I can only pass on what I'm being told.
Yeah.
And a lot of the information that I give, I get direct from my guide.
Yeah.
And he directs me. We can only go back a certain period because the spirit world evolves just as our own world evolves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about evolution. Okay. So many spirits come back to this earth. Okay. So we live other lives. Okay. So there's a lot of spirit energies that come back and relive another life or another 2 lives or 3 or 4 or whatever. You know, so you can take them out of the picture. A lot of entities will move up in the spirit realms or the spirit world or spirit planes, whatever you want to call them. You know, so they won't be coming back to this era. And it's just about evolution, really, spiritual evolution, and that's why you won't get a lot from them. I'm sorry. Well, will you get that off your screen?
I didn't put it there.
I thought Sue had seen a ghost.
Oh, what the hell? Sorry, Neil. Go on.
That's just completely put me off. I was talking about.
I'll put it on that one.
I'm not even going to describe what that
they're laughing
was.
about a picture that just turned up on Facebook.
Yeah, a little bit crude.
A little bit.
Actually, it wasn't.
That was what? Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Keep in mind, we do have American listeners, and crude can mean a different thing.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
It was uncalled for, but it was the idea of it was quite funny.
Just going back on that subject.
Yeah.
The earliest spirit that I've met in an investigation.
Yeah.
Was from the 1100s.
Right.
But people I've spoken to through other things that I've done, so talking directly with the spirit world, so I have spoken to spirit. Some of them have never walked this earth, you know, and they've been around since probably the dawn of age, I think. So,
just out of curiosity, I've just noticed the picture on there. When you see these films, going back to demonology and possession that you've dealt with, when you see that nobody would walk into a church, nobody would have a cross on them because it burns.
Like me.
No, but you know, if they wear a cross, it burns them. Is this in their mind, or is this really something that's part of the possession?
Okay. There are certain illnesses, if you like, that are out there that, again, I don't understand too much about it, but there are certain illnesses out there that can cause minor injuries from actually thinking about them. I know there's one illness that can actually cause bruising just by thinking about this bruising. You know? It's a bit like stigmata. You know, stigmata's in the mind. You know, so there's lots of things out there that it comes from your own mind making these things happen.
Yeah.
You know, what the human brain and body is capable of doing, we just don't know. You know, we don't understand.
So, just going back a bit, Andy says he met this chap in the Iron Age, a place called Dundon Hill near Glastonbury. He said, "Does Neil believe in reincarnation?"
Yes.
You do. Okay. Yeah. And Ghost Rider would like to know, He says, I have a question for Neil. I've been told by mediums I have seen that we all climb a ladder in our time on our spiritual journey. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we pass on. We are judged by what we do good.
So when we pass on, we are
Yeah.
judged by what good we did while we was here.
Whilst we were here.
Okay.
Whilst we were alive. My father has never given me a message, and I wonder if this is due to him taking his own life.
Okay.
He says.
Yeah.
But then again, I've been waiting for my grandmother to give a message,
Yeah.
and I was told that it's because she's reincarnated.
Could be.
And that's why I haven't received a message.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter how
my,
you die,
my
does it?
reincarnation into this life where I am now, I can actually remember it. So I've actually got visions of before I was actually made, if you like.
So are we on this ladder, and do you think the reason why he hasn't got had a message is because his dad killed himself?
If his dad's reincarnated, which again,
happens.
which is one of the things that does happen
Mhm.
if you take your own life,
Yeah.
you do have to come back and do it all again. Then yeah, you wouldn't get a message from him because he's somewhere else.
Right. And they say when you die,
Yeah.
all ailments are taken away from you.
Yep. Yeah,
Todd,
you strip back to a pure form.
I didn't know this, but all the times I've been talking to Todd in the past, but he's got a knee amputee, below the knee amputee.
Okay.
Yeah. Will I have my leg back when I pass?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not too sure what stage you're actually on, but a lot of people who have things amputated can still feel either
like
the
a
leg or the
ghost
arm
leg.
or the hand
Yeah.
or whatever, and it's that energy
that comes
that's
back
still
when
there.
you
Yeah?
pass.
So when we pass over, when we go back into the spirit world,
Yeah.
we're stripped of everything. We're back to that pure energy.
So it's like a
of
ghost
the-
limb, isn't it? You
Yeah.
can still feel it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
He lost it in '97.
And Andy says, if there's reincarnation, how can there be ghosts? He had his own theory.
Not everybody is reincarnated.
Mhm.
Okay. There's only a percentage that's reincarnated. And the reason why they're reincarnated is because they haven't done enough to stay in the spirit realms. They still have learning to do. They still have a lot of teaching going on. I've been down here, God knows how many times. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I think a lot of my sort of reincarnations have been to teach, to pass on valuable lessons, as well as learning myself. So not everybody gets reincarnated. It's only a minority that reincarnate.
Yeah, and Andy said it's the Atman, the pure energy core, that gets reborn. Todd said he constantly has phantom sensation of the below the knee,
and rarely
phantom pain. Some people do get
some
pain.
Some people do, yeah, and it's basically what it is. It's the human soul. The human soul still stays intact, even though your physical body is injured, or if you've been amputated or something.
He's just said if he walks barefoot on carpet, grass, or hot asphalt, asphalt. Sorry. He said I feel that in the foot that's gone.
Yeah, you will do.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one for you. Obviously, you're a medium in this life.
Yeah.
Does that necessarily mean you were the medium in past lives?
No.
So that kind of doesn't go.
He was a butterfly before.
Go from one life to another kind of thing.
I could have been a surgeon in my previous life. I could have been a coalman. I could have been
but you could still have been sensitive.
Usually, what happens is people usually progress into mediumship when they have enough level of teachings in them, or enough level that they're high enough to be able to pass this on. And we're not here for ourselves. We're here to teach people to progress. The whole sort of spiritual awareness in people. And this is growing and growing and growing as we go to each generation. It grows. We learn more. We get taught more. Spirit are coming closer to us. And this is happening each generation. You know, the kids that are born in this generation now are a lot more heightened in spiritual energy than the last generation. You know, so the next generation after them, again, it will be heightened again. You know, so we're becoming more aware of the spirit world. The spirit world's coming closer to us, and that's the progression. Again, we're talking about evolving.
Then I've got a question that you won't like, because it's.
Go on then, and then we'll have to wrap it up.
We talk. The various religions talk about the Day of Reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could this be it? When the spirit realm actually gets at the same place as our world, because you said the spirit world getting closer.
Yeah.
So could that be what they were talking about here?
That we're a hell of a long way off before that happens.
I know that.
Okay, but what we're going to see signs of is we're going to get to a point where we won't have to speak because we can hear each other in our own minds. You know, things like that. The brain is going to evolve in such a way that we're going to use more percentage of it.
There's going to be a lot of people getting slapped, you know.
At the moment, we use about 10% of our brain at any one time. We're not capable of using any more at any one time. Okay, if we could use our brain 100% all the time, we'd be very, very dangerous people right now. We're not ready for that. We're nowhere near ready for that. And it's got to be very, very progressive. So what the spirit world's got to do in the first instance is just get us used to them being around, get us used to them teaching us, get us used to them, you know, messing about with our gifts and things like that. So that's what we're progressing into.
Yeah, but I think you kind of missed it a little bit there. When they say on the day, we all go to the spirit world.
Yeah.
And whatever happens on that. But what I'm saying is, you're saying that the spirit world is getting closer each generation.
Yeah.
So could they have been talking about, instead of this is where you go and pay for your sins or whatever, could they have been talking about the time when the spirit world isn't closer, it's with us at the same time? Because as it's getting closer, there's going to be a point where it's not close anymore, it's actually with us.
Well,
could that be what they were talking about? I know you don't like talking about religious stuff.
No, I don't. I don't think that's.
I mean, to my miswired brain, it sounds feasible that is what they could have been talking about, rather than going to heaven and facing.
Okay, the spirit world is already on us. You know, we're overlapped. You know, there's no coming down. There's no coming closer. They live upon us. You know, and each plane's upon them. You know, what I'm talking about is us evolving here in a spiritual way, in a manner where our gifts are getting used properly. We respect each other properly. You know, because, like I say, if that was to happen now, it would be very, very dangerous. You know, there's dangerous people out there that would so abuse that kind of power and energy and everything else. Sorry, I'm just looking at Andy's comment about the 10% of the brain being used.
I was going to mention.
Maybe it is a myth, you know. I don't know, but we don't use a lot of the brain at any one time. I was thinking about in one instance of time, not constantly.
Todd says, do you feel that the way dolphins can communicate between themselves through thought are psychic?
There is that ability there, you know. The thing with dolphins, it's not about thought. It's the sonar. They work off sonar, and that's what they're picking up. But that's the kind of ability that I'm talking about. That is going to be similar to what we'd be able to use. But we've got a very, very long way to go. A long, long way to go.
Yeah. He also says that what scares him is that the intelligence services agencies over in America are trying to use these gifts.
Yeah. That's why we're not ready. I told you that it's a very scary thought, but the spirit world as I know it will not allow that to be used to a certain level where it would become a danger to us.
Right. So on that note, I'm going to let everybody know
coming soon.
What's coming up next week.
Oh, what we got?
Right. Well, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the show Paul Stevenson from Haunted Magazine. We're going to be talking to him to see how things have been going since he started his magazine up.
Yes, we remember Paul when he first started.
Yeah. So, and
that was back when it was hard copy. I understand it's now an online magazine.
Yeah, I think it is. You know, so we're going to be talking about Paul Stevenson and see how his journey's been since he started the magazine. And
before you go any further, can I just say what Todd said?
Uh-huh.
We'd like to thank you for answering the questions.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Not a problem.
No problem.
And also, a while ago, we was meant to have had Kerry on from Bomber County Paranormal. She's coming on. She was ill at the time, that's why she couldn't make it. But she's coming on to talk to us about quite an interesting subject, actually, about fake properties. Basically, she wants to discuss the private cases where the client is faking activity. Yeah, bordering private venues that do the same. Yeah, she's going to be talking about all that next week. So that should be quite interesting. I bet she's got a few stories to tell. So, don't you?
I should hope so. And it's just thank you as well.
So, well, thank you very much for joining us again.
I talk to him every week.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I'm going to leave you with one of the newest.
Can I just say?
Go on.
That next week, if anybody wants me, I'll probably be on a sauna table somewhere, relaxing.
Right.
Or in
okay.
a steam room, maybe.
No problem. Right. So I'm going to leave you with this.
Do a bit of astral travel to get you.
I'm going to leave you with this new trailer that I found. I think this is coming out later on in the year. Lords of Salem, wasn't it? Or is it the end of the month?
I think it's the end of the month.
I think this one's the end of the month. So until next time.
I haven't actually looked myself. I think that's when it is.
We'd like to thank you again for listening. Thank Todd Bates for coming on. Bless him. And hopefully we'll see you all again next week. And until next time, keep the paranormal friendly. So until then, good night and God bless.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
And now, here's a word from our sponsor.
Finally, the #1 weight loss and fitness challenge in North America is coming to the UK. Don't miss your chance to be the first Brits to be a part of it. Be honest, right now you probably want to lose some weight, live a healthier, more active lifestyle, or get in better shape. We're here to challenge you to make your health a priority with the new Body by Vi 90-day challenge.
My favorite thing about the challenge was just losing the weight. Got my life back, that's it.
Now we've gone from being couch potatoes to being, fit athletes, working out, strength training every single day. It's changed our whole lifestyle.
Let's be real. You don't have to look far to see we have a problem. A growing problem. With today's work demands and faster-paced lifestyle driving us toward quick fixes, it's no secret how we got here. Finally, something that's simple, affordable, fun, tastes amazing, and most importantly, it works. The Body by Vi Challenge is the solution you've been searching for. The challenge is North America's #1 90-day platform for weight loss and fitness results. To date, over 500 million Vi shakes have been served to millions of people who have already lost millions of pounds, making the challenge the fastest growing weight loss and fitness movement in North America today. Powered by a line of innovative wellness products from Vi, the Body by Vi Challenge is coming to the UK. The perfect way to start a lasting health transformation. First, you set a goal. Next, select a kit. Then, enter to win. It's that easy, and in a minute you will learn how you can even get your kit for free. Let's talk about your goal. If you were to set a 90-day health goal right now, what would it be? Lose some weight? Shed some inches? Run a 5K? Build some muscle? Whatever it is, it all starts with you going public with your challenge goal. Then you'll select one of 3 challenge kits designed to help you accomplish your goal. The centerpiece of each kit is the Vi Shape Shake with a scientifically proven formula. Thousands of healthy and delicious ways to mix it up. The Vi Shake is easy affordable, and tastes amazing. And since it's a healthy meal replacement, the challenge can actually save you money on your eating out and grocery bills. You can have even more fun and nearly triple your chance of success when you do it with others. That's why Vi created the 3 for Free program that helps you get your kit for free when you refer 3 others to take the challenge with you. Last year, over 400,000 free kits were awarded to people on the challenge. Do you want your kit for free?
The 3 for Free program just allows anybody, no matter what circumstances they are, to get their product for free and get healthy at the same time.
And new in 2013, it gets even better. Having helped millions find success, we're so confident that we've added a new 90-day money-back results guarantee. Save money. Get it for free. Money-back guarantee. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. But wait, need more reasons? How about 30 million more? Last year alone, we gave away over £30 million worth of free products, prizes and holidays for people on the challenge. And now, with the new Body by Vi challenge, there are even more ways to win, with larger, weekly, monthly and big prizes. After studying millions of challenge transformations, we believe that the secret to your success lies in losing the first £10. That's why we've launched Project 10, where every week in 2013, we're awarding a total of $10,000 to 10 people who lose £10. Just document your challenge and submit for a chance to be one of 5 men and 5 women selected every week to win $1,000 in cash. What would you do with the extra money? Plus, since everyone who loses on the challenge really wins, lose £10 and show off your free I Lost It t-shirt. How soon will you be saying I lost it? 3 times a year, Vi celebrates the most inspiring 90-day weight loss, active and fitness transformations by crowning our new Body by Vi champions.
Absolutely amazing. We want this for everybody, so commit, submit, you never know. You fill that thing out and you can win. This is amazing. Our lives are going to change.
Experience the Vi life when the red carpet is rolled out for all champions on the ultimate transformation vacation. And while it's great to be treated like an A-lister just for transforming your health, let's not forget the £3,000 Beverly Hills wardrobe shopping spree. You could be the next Body by Vi champion.
It's been just amazing, getting picked up by a private driver and the goodie bags and the schedule and the feeding and the dresses. It's just been amazing.
And by simply selecting a kit, you have access to all the resources you need to succeed. So, set your goal, select your kit, enter to win. Be the first in the UK to be on the challenge. Just talk to the person who showed you this video to learn more, or be invited to a challenge party near you. There is no better time than now to start making your health a priority. So why not start losing weight, getting fit, saving money, and having fun? Guaranteed. Are you up for the new Body by Vi challenge?
The one phone call that I made to try to join the challenge to lose weight has changed every aspect of our life.